Guys, have a great weekend.
Hey guys, welcome in. Yeah, final few hours here on a Friday afternoon as we try to get back to something that resembles positive territory, but it's just not happening this afternoon. It's been one of those days once again. We had a big move to the downside that has kind of stabilized, I guess, if you want to call it that. 0.6 here for the S&P, the Dow 0.87 currently, the NASDAQ 0.65 it is. Once again, the Dow, we saw this, I think it was on Tuesday. Might have been Wednesday, actually. The Dow was leading where the other two were kind of following suit. Reversal of what we've seen over the past couple of days. Anyways, Brazil having a big day, 2% higher to end off the quarter. 1.8 here for crude oil, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Back in positive territory as well. So at least there's a little bit of a positive note to end off the week. Here is a look at the board right now. 0.5% to the downside, as we said, for the S&P 500. A lot of green on this board, but it's all coming from up here. CCL, NCLH, RCL, 21, 16.5, and 11.5%. And then you get Nike over here, 12.3% to the downside. So these four by themselves essentially offsetting an otherwise pretty positive board. There's Twitter. Yeah, a couple of headlines coming across here. We'll have a look at Twitter. Back to the downside as CNBC saying, yeah, no truth to any rumors of settlement happening between Elon and Twitter. So 2.8% higher. Paramount still holding up nicely, 1.8%. I saw some of the streaming names outside of Disney having a pretty good day. 1.5% downside for Disney. Real estate stocks are strong. We saw some strength early on in the banking sector. It's kind of faded, really, unfortunately. Diversified Financial is back in the red as a group. Some of the banks still higher. Some of the insurance companies still higher. Healthcare stocks still higher. AbbVie struggling today, down about 4.8%. So mixed board overall. If you minus these four, however, we would be positive. But you didn't hear it from me. Welcome to the final few hours here, as we said, of a Friday afternoon. Pretty good week, pretty good, well, day anyway, shaping up here. As far as opportunities, we'll take some time here. We'll go back and revisit a few that we were discussing in the pre-market to kick things off, as we always do in the afternoon. Going to be Sean today, leading the way with a great trade from this morning. Here comes Sean.
Hey traders, what's up? Yeah, look, exactly what Brendan said. Great day for opportunity, and opportunity struck super early. We were actually waiting for an Apple short, but look what happened. So yesterday, big move down for Apple. The bottom was actually 140.50 or somewhere around there. So guess what happened real early today in Apple, right? So this is going to, I'll go on this side. This is going to be your trade of the day, brought to you by Day Trade the World. Make sure you scan that QR code below and get your day trading journey started right now. There's the first dip when we had CPE come out this morning. Big move to the downside. We buy that ahead of that 141, and then it just rifles up to the upside, out, right? So that was an easy one, but it's pre-market, so not as many shares. The point about what I'm about to get to, we had 10 times the shares when this fell back down. And the thing is, sure, we have the absolute bottom today. That part is pretty lucky on Apple, right? But the idea is we're going to try to get into Apple around 140.60, 140.70, which is what we started there. Then we got a 60 print, and it was so simple to trade. We were going to give ourselves like 10 or 20 cents worth of space to the downside to see if we want to break that with any real volume the bottom of the day. But guess what happened? No breaks in sight. And there it is, man. I couldn't believe when I had the trade on. We actually wind up taking a little more shares, not than we thought, but this was the biggest Apple trade for me all month. So we sat there, we said, hey, the risk to reward here just pays off too much. And then all of a sudden, man, it is explosion time to the upside. We get out of probably about 20% rate in there. Then as it rips up, now we're in the money all of a sudden. $1 on this trade, right? So rips all the way back up. At that point, hits VWAP, hits the 50 period. So we're just like, okay, out. Get out at that pre-market bottom, out. Get more out at the 200 period. And at this point, man, we're in the money now, about $1.30, and we just can't believe it. We still have on about half of our position as it starts to explode to the upside. Look at this. That's our best out off that trade, all the way up here at 142.40. So what do? We respect that level one more time, because comes back up, there's the other out, and then at that time, the high was up there, so we took another out at the high, and we still had shares on, came back in, hits VWAP again, get out, and there's us finally closing the trade. But being a day trader doesn't mean that you just sort of hit it and quit it. Sometimes great, and we could have done that. But guess what else happened? Then we started seeing Apple up here failing at 143. So we went short. This is a twofer here today. So you're going to get one long, and then look at this short. We like it so much, we take it twice. In. Then it starts falling down again. And again, you're going to be like, oh, well, he's getting out there. Yeah, it's 50 cents, and it's a down move here in what was at that time an up market. And then Apple just completely falls down again, man. We get another piece out at view up. That's 142. That's 80 cents in our pocket. Then it dropped. I mean, you guys saw in the morning, you saw this monster trade, and you thought, hey, man, maybe this guy's done. We're not. Boom, comes back in. Then we take a 141.30 again, right? Right into these levels where we got out, drops back. There's our 141 out for Apple off of that 143, 142.70 short. So look, there's always multiple ways to play a stock, right? Let it come down into past support. Where's the support? Just so simple. Just use yesterday's bottom. That's it. So we use that as this bounce point. That's where the trampoline starts, right? Then eventually the kids get tired on the trampoline. Mine, not really. But there it is. It's over with, right? Not much volume. We see that 143. We take that against 143. It's 20, 30 cents worth of risk. Brings it back down to the downside. It's Apple. I like it. And it's your trade of the day.
A great mover today was Apple, along with the rest of big tech that were all on that this morning. We were watching to see at the end of the month, at the end of the week, in the quarter even, would it be some of the big mega cap tech names that would take the lead today? Initially, they tried to the upside. Here we go. Back downside with the overall market are some of the big tech names. All on that this morning. Make sure you grab that if you haven't. Join the more than 30,000, getting that every single day absolutely free, because that's how we roll around here. Here's Twitter doing things again this afternoon. Volume pretty much gone on this. It's worth noting right out of the gate. You can see whatever there was has dissipated. The initial move higher gets met with a CNBC report saying, nope, that's not happening. So this was the latest to come out here. Yeah, no serious settlement talks between the two underway currently, according to CNBC. Let's jump right into a few other things we were dealing with this morning, including Nike. Not a good look for Nike overall coming off of earnings. They're talking too much inventory. They're talking discounts. They're talking everything good, Fahad? All right. Yeah, they were talking not too positive as far as Nike is concerned. Back to day lows there for NKE as well.
Yeah, look, it wasn't a good look, and welcome everybody. It wasn't a good look for Nike. Absolutely, it got trashed overnight. You're gapping to the downside. However, we always sort of talk about, look for the trade and look for the setup. It's not always about the fundamental situation. And I got to get rid of this wick. Maybe this will do better. But either way, we did gap to the downside. And I was looking at one thing. You'll see this support here at 84. You have to go pretty far back. And trust me, if I go on the daily all the way back to 2019, you will see pandemic area shorts at that 84 level. But we had Michael Noss on from Trade Ideas this morning, and you just saw with Sean on the trade of the day, like the notion of like the wick bottom, right? Like you fail a break, or you get that big shoot to the downside, and then you get the snap back up as we reject the break lower. And that happens so many places. By the way, Apple's getting to 140, so I'm going to go long before I go short in 140. But I was looking for the wick bottom on a stock that gaps down, because what'll happen is you have a lot of people that have maybe banked on the short or are chasing the short as it heads to the downside. And when it reclaims the support level, sometimes you get a break into the upside. And that was the 84 I looked for. I did not hold on to the trade nearly long enough. It got up to 86. I was out more or less in front of 85. And right now you're even seeing like that same support level is starting to hold there. So the trade, unless you were short in the pre-market, the trade ended up being looking for the reversal long and then just trying to hold on. Sometimes things have gone down far enough that it's tricky for them to get back to the upside. But they have a lot of concerns there, not just with China growth and on top of that, of course, talk about the inventory issues, but then the U.S. dollar has been a problem for them. I think at some point things are going to turn around for them in particular. It's hard to guess when that's going to be. But Nike's they're a good brand. Trading probably at a premium, and anything that was at a pretty decent multiple there is going to get beaten up when the report isn't how people like it. So that was what happened here. But there were some longs to be had off those lows.
Yeah, no, for sure. We talked about Nike a little bit earlier this morning. I mean, Neil just hit it out of the park with all that. It is, it's a sad day for Nike shareholders, but I like to think that if that US dollar ever figures itself out, then that's, the major headwind as far as I can see and from the report. So let's see if they can get rid of some of that inventory as well. That's overhang. I don't know. I like to collect shoes and stuff like that. So I still feel like there's some need for Nike stuff. Sharif was talking about how he loves the gym equipment and all that kind of stuff. So, it is what it is. Nike are just going to have to go through some pain here as, the weak US dollar, supply chain, inventory. I mean, we're just working our way through. There's a reason why Nike's high was 180 and you're back down to 85 bucks or whatever right now. So, still continues to be a problem. And I didn't trade it today, but I did like that 87. That kind of held. And then that 82 bottom. So maybe it's something to trade here this evening. But for me, it's a day of tech names, and that's what we've been doing.
Having a little issue with some graphics, guys, but we'll talk about chip names here next because we had Micron earnings that came out that, again, were kind of mixed depending on what you wanted to look like. Hey, there we go. That's better. All right. I wanted to show AMD first because a little bit of relative strength coming in here. We're actually ticking back to the upside. I saw a volume alert go off there with the market still in negative territory. These, however, holding a little bit higher, guys, despite this Micron report.
Yeah, like it's interesting because Micron basically said demand possible issues, and they would be looking for some serious cost decreases or reductions, I should say, which ultimately can be a bit of a good thing. They warn about PC sales being an issue, but you've got to remember how bad it's been. I have NVIDIA up because I'm actually in Micron and AMAT, and I'll get to those in a second. But NVIDIA was one I liked for some strength, and that and AMD did show it to you. And we said one of the themes is, in earnings season, sometimes about where things have gone as opposed to what you necessarily think fundamentally should happen on the news. And Micron was up despite all of that news. As the market was making bottoms, you have yet another stock at the open, wick bottom, and then break out the top. Now, you're not going to get top breaks everywhere, but that's what NVIDIA did. I took the top break out there. And then what do you think I wanted to be short on? Now, I said this morning, I want to take 2 shots at AMAT because I believe if Micron is going to be decreasing their spending, that there's no possible way that's a good thing for AMAT. So you can see here, it was trying to break down the bottom. I had the bottom channel short and then had to get stopped out and then played off of the recent high and then got into that short. I'm still in a piece of it. So able to make a piece back, but when the overall thesis was that this was going to get down and break those lows, well, AMAT never broke the lows. It's actually held that support. Maybe it does so next week. I'll be there if it does. But this has looked like it's going to be relatively weak. It's down that 1%. It's held the bottom. I still think there's some pain to be had, but some of these chip names have been beaten up so much that support was in play and support was there for you in some of these. They got down to these lows from the week and they never broke them. And last I checked, if you don't break the low, it's impossible for there not to be a long opportunity, or it could go sideways. But in this market, they're not going sideways. So strength in NVIDIA, strength in strength in AMD. The short in AMAT, 1 for 2 there. But I still believe next week you break that floor in AMAT, and I want to be short that stock based on the MU report.
Yeah, I mean, Micron, I'm just excited to be into earnings season now. Now we have reasons to sell or buy stock other than support and resistance, but it's going to be a real fun time here coming through. It's really made me create some opportunities today for me on AMD. We got in and out early. Obviously, we were long, missed that whole ride up, and then I just put it in. Oops, I got to get rid of that. I just put it in the chat there, when the midday show was going on, that we were starting to short some AMD. So we've just got back in here and really started shorting some AMD here. The market, it's still up 0.19. So I'm just thinking and this is like sort of opposite of what I've been doing with the relative strength versus weakness, but I'm just sitting here thinking okay, you do get this nice move up. Nice move back down. We're below the 50 period. We're definitely, starting to angle to this downside again today. Who knows where we're going to go? And there it comes out right now. A couple shorts out again. Hit that short one more time. Broke it down to 64, which is great. Now we're short again right here against 40. If we break above this 40 level right here, then we're going to be out of AMD. But this is a name that I want to be into throughout the close. So let's see if it can hold. I saw we got a super chat there, Neil. And it's all about have a Hawaiian za on me, man, along with a big slice of Chicago. Sure, yeah. I mean, we should get both pizzas here
I'm
today,
down with
but
the latter.
as far as as far as I know, it's going to be Hawaiian, and that was because of the votes, man. You guys, we could put a poll up every week and then figure out something else for Fridays. Like, we could do something fun for Friday.
I was gonna say, but if you do that every day, they're just gonna make me eat pineapple pizza.
Not every day, not every day. And we won't. The thing about the poll was, it's obviously rigged because like everybody's gonna want to see you eat it because they know you don't like it.
I don't like it.
But we want to give big respect to that because you did mention on there, William. What's up, William? Yeah. Let's get a real pizza in here for Neil.
I'm down with that.
You'll be able to see that. But apparently there is a Hawaiian pizza or some sort of pizza like that.
It's inbound.
On its way. So, we are going to be having a slice of pizza here live on the show. So if you want to participate, I'm thinking probably around like 2:45-ish. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's generally when we do that. So if you want to join us, get that za ready, man. Put it in the oven, put it in the microwave, make your phone calls to that Uber driver.
Don't feel compelled to have pineapple on yours.
No.
Yeah,
just get whatever you want. It's a celebration kind of a day because this market is definitely giving us reasons to celebrate. Maybe not, depending on what position.
A little bounce here.
I think it's good, yeah. But, I mean, there's a lot of people holding shorts, too, and there's a lot of people holding long. So I think today was a good day, depending on when and where you got out, I guess.
Time left, guys. Time left still in the afternoon. Let's go back to Tesla here quickly. Actually looking, I had to double check the chart because I thought it was AMD still, but it looks very similar. Up 0.18 here for Tesla, coming back into some of the levels that it held about this time late in the afternoon yesterday. Decent volume behind Tesla today, but another one kind of chopping around here ahead of, as we've been saying, the end of everything, the end of the quarter, week, and month here. Today, AI Day coming up at 5 p.m. Pacific, apparently going to be streamed online. So after the market closes, obviously, but worth noting for Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with the AI Day not occurring during market hours, like how exciting was it? I guess we'll talk CCL, but not that I like earnings coming out in the morning. I prefer it after market, but CCL was exciting because you basically had news and you had crazy movement intraday. But broken record here, and I know every chart's going to look like this, so I'm just going to get it out of the way. Another wick bottom on Tesla. It was at that 265 at the open. You basically slammed below, and apologies for this wick. I didn't clean it up in time. And then once it recovered that level, I just took the scalp trade, 65 into 270. I then did not cancel my stop order because when you go long here, this is your out right down there, like that previous low, right? This is another thing Michael Noss talked about. And it works on a higher time frame. It works on a day trade. But I accidentally got into the short. You'll see I kind of got out more or less flat in 2 shots. And then, of course, it proceeded to do exactly the same thing the second time. And the second time was even better, like break the low, wick bottom, and an even bigger move to the upside. It feels like right now we're going to have a little bit of a it feels like we're going to be heading to the downside here. You're getting a downward trend. Tesla's still positive on the day, but if we break these lows, then Tesla below VWAP kind of sets up as a bit of a short here going into the AI news. I'm excited just because I'm a bit of a nerd. Like seeing that robot that looks like a cross between, it's like the iRobot, like Optimus, and we were talking about it earlier. Anyways, it'll come to me. It looks pretty cool.
Which robot? iRobot?
The Optimus. Yeah, but it looks halfway between the iRobot and then there's another movie.
Was there? We had the picture of it before. We'll grab that back.
It's cool. Let's just say that.
It is cool.
It is cool. I don't know that it's going to move the needle, or this event is going to move the needle for Tesla, which, since post-split is now breaking, or at least attempting to break down of its recent channel. That's why this 269, 270 area is so important. You end up closing below there. Below here, and you're beneath that support going into next week. There you go. Yeah, it's supposed to do some work.
There we go.
I think it looks cool. Elon Musk isn't afraid at all of like Skynet or any of those things at all.
He ain't scared.
Me personally, I don't know. Is it built with the 3 laws of robotics? Those aren't infallible. But anyways, Tesla, I don't think it's going to move the needle. We've got a downward channel here. Things could break down in a big way if we're below 265 on Monday morning. But that's Monday morning. For now, you're actually, I was about to say you were positive. Nope, you are now red on the day in Tesla. I'm looking for shorts in front of 270 only if the market is breaking down beneath these lows in the NASDAQ, which have not broken yet. Otherwise, I'll stick to AMAT, Micron short, and by the way, Apple long. I got the Apple long in front of 140. I feel like it's going to be a crowded trade. But I grabbed 20s here, just in front of the quarters, took some out in front of the 50s, and want to see if we can hold higher. I'll rinse and repeat until it breaks 140. And when 140 breaks, I'll probably be short.
Yeah, I just want to confirm here because we got another. First of all, we just took some more money out there on AMD. You might have saw that, you might have not. You're down into the 20s here on AMD, and we just reloaded it in the 35 there area for AMD. But another one, thank you so much, William James. Chicago pizza for Neil. So I've already put in the chat. If it's okay, we'll just do that next week. We'll get a pizza for.
I'm here on Friday next week.
Oh, you're not here? Well, maybe we'll do it Thursday
Yeah.
or the week after.
No.
But anyways, we'll figure it out.
not
Both
trying
of
to
us.
miss those Chicago
Yeah.
pizza.
So if there's a Jays wild card game next week at home and it's in the afternoon, I'm not here. Neil's not here regardless that day, but maybe we'll do it on Thursday. So pay attention. We'll discuss that over the week, and we'll figure out what the best way to do it. But thank you so much for that super chat. Or if we got that earlier, we could have ran out and got a beer to have with today's pizza. But we can. I guess we can still do that. But all right. So just a quick little update there. I know Neil talked about Tesla. I'm just going. There it is right now. So let's go again, man. We'll slap a fail on AMD. I mean, there's the reload right there. Hopefully you guys had this with me. You might not have had that one because that's 30, but there's the other one right there at 35. Now you're down to 18, and we'll just continue to take money out of this AMD trade as, the levels are going to break, I feel like. Why can't we break the low today? I mean, doesn't make any sense. Oh, by the way, our bear's so lonely over there. Do you have that picture there, Fod, of their screen, their desk? Because the bear is just sitting over there, and look at that guy. So, now he looks pretty sweet and cute and everything, just by himself. His head is kind of cocked to the side there. I'm gonna have to go get him and bring him over here because he's a lonely dude.
Get that bear some pizza.
Right there, right now. So. Ooh, you're fading. I like that little fade action. Yeah, show off the software, baby.
Very
Let's
fancy.
see let's find out what else I can do. Okay, here goes AMD. Bang again, man. We're just gonna do that. It feels like we are in a little haze right now. These winners just keep on coming out, man. We're having, like I've already said before, we're having the best day we've had all month, and hopefully it's nice to have that at the end of the month for sure. So we'll still keep trading for you, but I feel like the market's gonna make this move to the downside. My next AMD bid is at 63.93. So right down here, right where that wick is. Again, kind of picking random spots, but we'll see if that can come through. Right now, 30 cents in the money on AMD.
All right, let's talk a little big tech here. We kicked things off with Apple early on this afternoon at 2 o'clock with Sean there. But I want to mention the rest of the group here because we haven't seen as much participation as we saw in Apple over the past couple of days, directionally speaking. Here's Amazon, 0.25%, still trying to hold on to positive territory. So a little bit of relative strength still in some of these. Google as well in this same area. But one of those kind of days, back and forth we go. We're basically where we started the session.
Yeah, I mean, outside of Apple, I've only really traded big tech in the chip space.
Yeah.
So I never got into Google Alphabet, I should say, if only because it never really got to the price I wanted. And I heard Prad, and he said this a few times this week, say something. Your price is important, right? So if you're going against the grain and the market made those wick bottoms, you can sort of see it's going to the upside. I got my eyes on Alphabet. I'm thinking, okay, there's going to be a setup. We could maybe get there. It's that 100 area that I wanted. It got to 99. It just didn't get to the price I was willing to go short. It's a little close to that 100 level, so never really happened. This hasn't broken the bottom yet. There's still this 96 for support out there that I think we can respect. And just because we talked to chips very quickly, I want to just remind everybody of a thing called Intel. Intel's at $26.09. So if you can probably imagine what's going to go on here is I'm going to be on the bid in front of 26. I'm going to get ones and twos, or actually ones and threes. So I'll probably get an average price of like 1 1/3 or something like that. And if 26 breaks, I'm out and I'm going short on Intel. Did a similar thing at 27. I'm pretty sure we did it at 30, and I don't know about 28 and 29, but yeah, Intel pretty weak here. If it gets to the upside, I will fade some of this and get short some pops, kind of like what we're doing in the other chip names. But yeah, that 26 even, I'll be on that on Intel. I'm not going to miss it. These even dollar breaks, they're great on the way up in a bull market. In a bear market, you got to look for some of those short.
Big tech to lead. Yeah, I mean, I've sort of just been reviewing my big tech plays. We were in and out of Microsoft right here. That didn't have any love at 237. So, I mean, it did. It went to the downside. We already picked our poison with Apple and with AMD short on that one. The other major cap tech name, I guess, that we could talk about is Netflix. And Netflix for me today is a shoot and a score on Netflix as we went long right there. I mean, this is, and again, like maybe I'll just show this to you. Like this is part of the risk management that I have, right? And I mean, I think that you got to put this into your repertoire if you don't do this already. And maybe I am too conservative. There's no doubt about that. But you know, look at this. This is a 235.50, right? Our outs 236.63. That's $1.10. The next one's at 237, so that's about $1.40 or so on that. So 2/3 out for $1.10 and then $1.40, right? Our hit on that is, so we're long at 235.50. Our hit is down there on a 235 break. We actually wind up getting 89. So we wind up taking on our wins, 2/3 of our wins, $1.10 and $1.40, and then we wind up losing on that last piece because it breaks that 235, which at the time was the support. So we get out and we get hit down there for a roughly, what did I say? That was 230, that's exactly 40s, and then that's 90s, so 50, 60 cent hit. So, you know, $1.10, $1.40, then minus 60. So $1.10 plus $1.40, you know, 250 minus 60 cents, which nets you out at $1.90, no matter the amount of share size that you take, right? So that's why we continue to talk like that in those terminologies, because that's all that matters. And then right here, the same thing goes twice again. We short it into 239, which there's the top, right? We waited for it to break 239. We were pretty lucky because that never happened. And look where we're starting to get out. That's 238. So that's 239. That's 238.80. These are 238s. And then that one at the bottom is 237.80. And then that very bottom is 237.40. Came back up. We tried it again and then lost. So again, you know, take that $1.50 when you're right. And then when you're wrong, you wind up losing there. It looks like it's 65 cents again. So, you know, bank the profits. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Because if I hold all the way up here or to some of these tops again, where do I wind up getting out? At a 240 break, something like, so then you wind up sort of negating some of these profits, right? So I know we're talking about big tech, but that's the trade. That's how I've been trading today on basically all those tech names: Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, and AMD. So I think I've gone over pretty much all of those. And then next up is going to be CCL, Brendo.
Out for CCL today, coming off of that earnings report that we brought to you just before the open this morning after 9 o'clock. I'm going to show you a monthly chart of Carnival. And the reason I do this is because this was going back to March of 2020, was the prior low here around 760. We're now trading way over here. This is October 1992 levels for CCL. So bookings were bad. Forward-looking bookings, not a good number. Before we get some analysis here, there's big news, guys, that I wanted to share as well with everyone. Coming up on Monday afternoon, Jake Freeman is going to be on our show. And yes, that Jake Freeman, the Bed Bath & Beyond Jake Freeman, the MindMed Jake Freeman, the $110 million Freeman Capital Jake Freeman. So we're going to talk to him about MindMed, what happened this week. Obviously, a huge move to the downside on that offering, so we'll get his opinion on what to expect going forward. Obviously, very polarizing as far as opinions out in the world right now as far as what is happening with MindMed. So we'll get it right from Mr. Freeman himself. Coming up 2:45. Make sure you're here Monday afternoon for Jake Freeman.
8 broke, it was ugly, and it fell like a rock. Apparently, according to traders, I actually didn't catch this or see it happening in real time, but there was a size seller simply every single tiny pop selling this all the way down till it got to $7. When it hit the next even dollar, remember $8 even didn't work for a long. That was a losing trade. Reversed into the long at 7. It went to 750. Now it's just sliding down. NCLH is down 20%, I believe.
I didn't know
CCL is getting crushed as well, so 22% here. I think 20 on NCLH. I'm not sure how far RCL is to the downside, but all of them just got absolutely hammered today. If we see the 7 bid again, it might be worth it to take a shot. It bounced off 701 exactly. I'm not sure it bounces from 7 to 760 again, but there might be a little baby long off that level this afternoon.
All right. I mean, I could go over my CCL trades, but who cares? All right. So, I mean, we're actually wind up being
him a little bit.
being flat. Yeah, I want to say, so we'll get this guy off. And I just want to do, let me put him right over here. If you could just come to my screen real quick here. We got the pizza from the fourth man in the fire here, pizza. So some nice little action coming through here on this. So fourth man in the fire in case this is as good as it smells.
Like, look at these.
You know, we know that's where it came from. I know. Look at these pizzas, man. I don't know. Do they have donuts there as well? Like, what's going on there? Get some vino going on.
Yo, what do we got going on? Look at that slice.
This slice right here.
That'll work.
Yeah, that's legit. Let's click to see what this slice is saying right here.
That'll work.
Almost lunchtime.
That'll work.
All right, there's a big here story here, but I don't want to blast out on other people's Instagrams. But yeah, fourth man in the fire. All right, so let's go. Let's get rid of that. So thank you for that. Let's see what it's looking like, Neil. You have the honors. Let's go, Fod. You're missing it.
You're missing
there
it.
There it is. All right, Neil, hold it up.
Okay,
oh, what?
I don't know if you guys can see.
Is this a Hawaiian pizza or what?
You can see the chunks of.
Yeah, there's some chunks of
pineapple.
Okay.
That's what it is.
You know what this actually looks like? That looks like, and we did this
but
before.
Look at the sauce and the crust. It looks delicious.
Where I put on the Dave Portnoy hat and did this over again, but so it looks like we've got.
There's a lot of pineapple.
Are those jalapenos? It might be there with a little bit of sauce. So I think this is going to be great. I think it's about time that we try a slice. So Justin's right there. Yeah, we'll get some plates and then we don't have to spill it everywhere. I don't want to execute a trick. I mean, I'm about to just eat one of those right now. Let's try to be a little more professional there. What do you think?
You also get grease on your keyboard too, which is not fun.
That's the main thing. Like, I don't want to all of a sudden get into a trade slip, maximum default into a trade that we don't want. So thank you again for that, Justin, for grabbing that. And I want to thank, obviously, William James as well.
Delicious, but
you know what?
There's one slice that has like way more pineapple than the rest of them. I know which one.
That'd be the one that you're going to do.
I know the one I
okay?
don't. What do you mean that's what I'm?
Well, that's the one you'll do, right? The one with the more pineapple. I mean, that's sort of the purpose of the exercise here. But I want to give a big thanks to William James and everyone else who super chatted in, because honestly, that's what sparks all of this. Thank you, my friend. Hopefully, yep. Okay, there is two here. It looked like there was only one. Okay, so let's go have this right now. And all right, Neil. Let's just pardon my
Do I really
fingers.
have to pick the one that has the most?
No, you pick whatever one you want, but like some of them don't have much pineapple.
Okay, for the
that
record,
one doesn't have any pineapple.
There is a slice that has
Here, Neil,
this much
one.
pineapple, but I'll have one that has a healthy piece of pineapple on it because I'm a man of my word. And
actually, does that one have a pineapple?
Look at the size of that pineapple.
Oh, on the top left?
Does it have pineapple on it?
Okay,
Come on, man.
Let's keep the pizza here for a minute because I might have more. All right, so let's go. Try
I'm gonna eat it funky because I'm gonna bite the pineapple part first.
Okay. I like it. I like how you can fold the crust here. Pretty nice. A little bit of a thicker crust than I would prefer, but
now I'm taking a real bite. Like, see this? The
jalapenos. So this is the thing. If you think the pineapple's too sweet, it's like being counteracted. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's a great mix of pineapple with the jalapenos. And I said we do this at 2:45, but sorry about that. Go ahead, Neil.
The sauce is absolutely perfectly done. The balance with the cheese is fantastic, and I'll admit it. Like you guys already know, I do not like pineapple on pizza. However, the jalapeno with the pineapple actually works to an extent, but it is what it is.
I can feel that it's not super spicy, but you can feel the fire a bit. Like you can feel it.
It actually makes some sense there. It actually goes against that sweetness and. Maybe cuts it a little bit.
Sometimes I'll have like a Thai pizza.
And I like the crust.
Yeah,
nice
that's what I was going to say.
I like a little bit of well done with the thin crust. So that's definitely well done.
I put it down to think like I wasn't going to eat anymore.
And of course, you got the bacon on there too, which that never hurts. But I already had the bite with the largest piece of pineapple on it, so
I'm getting Tony over here.
I'm out of the woods right now.
I want Tony to come have a slice there. Tony did such a great job on the midday show. Let's get Tony involved. Fahad, everybody, Justin, you guys, help yourselves. Tony. Get out here to have, to have some pizza. It does. That looks great.
You guys are great.
So the thing about it is, honestly, it's been a fun time here. That is very. I actually don't mind that with the jalapenos there. Like I'm trying to think about something else that you could mix with that. But
I got to say this here.
Sweet and spicy.
This is Svetlana in the chat just said, I'm allergic to pineapple. Eat it for the people that can't. Wish I could eat it.
There you go.
So
there you go.
I feel you. I love pineapples. Don't get me wrong. Like my family's Antiguan. You actually get the best and sweetest pineapples in Antigua, where my family is from. I I should get paid to say that, but I actually believe it. They're tasty. I'm just
who
not,
would
I'm
pay
not
you
a
for
fan of
that?
it.
Like the Antiguan.
They have to have some kind of.
agriculture?
They got a tourism board or something.
Yeah.
They should. All they do is look, man. All you got in Antigua,
Then you
outside
gotta,
of having.
then you gotta pump mangoes and all that stuff too, man.
The mangoes are great too. And there's 365 beaches in Antigua, one for every day of the year. They are the same. They are absolutely the most gorgeous and the cleanest beaches you've ever seen, and they're all public. There's no such thing, even on a resort in Antigua. All the beaches are public. It's a cool rule they have on the island. But anyways, I digress. I do love pineapple, just not necessarily on pizza, but this is a good slice regardless. While this was happening, the market tried. And Apple was about to get to 141. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get 141s in there. And there's your reversal once again. So it looks like we are headed back into the downside. We have not taken out the lows of the day, but it feels like it's almost inevitable. And that means I got to pay attention to Intel, which... Ooh, it's still not there yet. Yeah, we're still not at 26. We're just bouncing a little bit above that. As yeah, of course, Lucas, get a slice. It's all good. That's the one I didn't want. You see that?
That's a lot of pineapples.
That basically is all pineapple.
That's the one I wanted to get by.
Well, and of course, that's the one you
All right,
take.
we have a couple more slices there. I have Tony coming through.
Where's Brad?
In a minute. Who cares where Brad is?
That's cold.
Yeah, no, he's probably at the gym or something. I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. Yeah, whatever. We can save a piece. Okay, here we go. All right, Tony. Enjoy, man. This is
Wow, you sent this.
yeah, this no, it was from our viewers there. So, and we actually went and grabbed it. So here you go. You are welcome to have a slice with just take that end one there, whatever you want. Yeah, why not?
Whatever you want,
just
brother.
rip it off, brother. Rip it off.
I want to take two.
Yeah, you do.
All right, here, I'll do it.
All right, thanks.
All right, there we go. All right, yeah, let me know. Give me some feedback how you like that, and then we'll go. But there you go. Thanks, Tony. Thanks for crushing it on the midday show. And now with that being said, we are now done with our Friday pizza time. So
Yes, sir.
I'll throw it over there, get it out of there so I don't elbow it out of the way. Thanks, Mark, for that one. I wonder why Mark just came and grabbed that right there. But of course,
you guys deserve a slice. Come on.
of course, guys.
By the way, like if you
Rob and Mark.
I know you guys can see the green screen, kind of see the green screen here. Like Rob and Mark have been working on that pretty much the last couple of weeks here. It's looking really good. It's almost done. But if you hear any like noises and whatnot, they're mostly done that. They're just doing the painting now. There were some things dropped this morning, but everyone is okay. So doing a fantastic job. They've earned their slice, to be sure. And I don't know where Randy is and all this, but you know, Mark and Rob are working hard.
Now AWOL. Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, whatever. It's
No,
Friday.
I'm clowning him, right?
Yeah, it's Friday.
but
I mean,
the
if we
desk
had more
looks
pizza, we'd give it
the
to
desk
everybody.
is great, right? I mean, that's Randy basically.
I think
built
there
the
was 8
desk.
slices in there or something, right? It was a medium. So again, thank you so much, William James. Thank you so much for the super chats. It does mean a lot to both Neil and I and our audience and everybody that works here at Trader TV Live. So thank you so much for that. It's really nice to do that. I think we should make that. Not that you guys have to send in super chats. That's not the case. But if you want,
You
to,
can just
that'd
tell
be
us
fun.
what to eat and then
yeah,
we'll
I
get
think
it
that's what I
later.
was saying. I think every Friday it would be kind of cool to do something fun like that. It only took 15 minutes there away from trading, and that's fun. Normally we'll have an interview or something anyways at this time. So I really think that that's pretty cool that we did that. So thank you again for that. And more suggestions. Well, we are going to get that deep dish. So we will get that.
Now that's if you've
coming
never
through
been to
as well.
Chicago, what is that going on there?
What is
that's
that?
pretty cool. But if you've never been to Chicago and had deep dish I've been to Uno once, man. It is out of control. Like it'll change your life. If you like pizza, get to Chicago, have some deep dish, enjoy.
Some Russian borscht.
Go to Wrigley Field too. If whether you're a baseball fan or not, it is so cool down in Wrigley. Still got to do Fenway, but Wrigley.
I would agree.
that's good
Neil,
stuff.
did you eat a round of the pineapple? Because
Look,
you had that one piece in the corner.
There's still a couple more pieces
Okay.
of pineapple in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna eat the piece. There's a couple left. I'll eat them. It's fine. I'm gonna do it.
The one thing I have to say
Jeez.
about this pizza is, honestly, I let Justin do this. Like, the thing is that it should have just been a straight Hawaii, like, the pineapple, it's a great pizza. This is not where I'm going with this, but it's masked. You know that, and I know that the pineapple is masked in this pizza. And,
Expertly done with these jalapenos,
I
by
cannot
the way.
be, a man of the traders and of the people here without giving the good stuff. There is pineapple on the pizza, but it's just so tasty that you don't really. Anyways, good pizza. I like it.
If you wanted to burn me, you'd get like one of those you know, like it's just all pineapple on.
Well,
I've
yeah,
seen
no,
them-
I was just thinking just a generic, you know,
Yeah.
what is it, bacon, ham, pineapple, like just a Hawaiian where that's that. But as I said, man, I mean, the sauce is great. I even think, I mean, there looks like there's bacon. I mean, this is like a big piece. I don't want to, that's pretty disgusting, like half-eaten pizza, but there's like a big piece of bacon on there, jalapeno. And I have to go to their website again to find the exact ingredients, but bacon, jalapeno, pineapple is what I figure it is. So
Yeah, that's what it looks
lots of fun. Did you like that, Rob or Mark? Yeah, everyone liked it, yeah. But not a traditional Hawaiian pizza, right, yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Okay. So that's what's happening beside us right now. I mean, they're literally, you know, getting that green screen now. It's the whole bottom is all green, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna miss the construction zone next to me.
I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, you
Rob
get used to the
Rob will for
the
sure. Rob wants more
sanding
projects.
and all
So
that
we're going to
stuff,
figure
yeah.
something out. Rob wants to do something else. Maybe we'll paint the background behind Brendan next, guys. You guys could build like a forever green all the way around. No, I mean, we're getting death looks from these guys right now. So we'll pass on that. Let's just go back over to trading quickly here.
Yeah, the market's coming back to the lows
this is kind
here.
of like what we're supposed to be doing. All right, so,
Allegedly.
I mean, we don't have to do it. We'll just do what we want to do. But there goes CCL again. I just want to bring it to everyone's attention because early we went long, right? And we went long at 820 and able to capture profit all the way up there to 850. So CCL was a great trade early. This is all like in the pre-market. Once the market opened, we tried to respect that level right there, and it was a Dr. Disrespect that level of $8 because as soon as $8 came, so we averaged in, $8 broke. Well, I mean, we didn't have too many shares left because, again, this is a pre-market trade, so it wasn't our big default or anything. But then it came back in. We did take a decent, like, the amount of shares that we wanted. So, you know, whether or not that's 500, 1,000, 50,000, whatever it is for you, we were sitting there defending that $8, right? Because there was about, I think there's about 500,000 shares on it, if I remember correctly. So there was a decent,
more, to be honest.
maybe there was more, especially including dark pools. And then we both Neil and I were, even when we were both in this, it was just like, this is gonna break, break. And then eventually it just broke. We got out right away. We got a great print. Like, I think we got 99s or something. There was so much liquidity. It broke 99s or 98s. And then this just happened all the way to the downside. We tried to stop the move at 60 there because it was just collapsing. And we actually did stop it for a little, not us, but the move stopped. And then we got out for like 1 or 2 pennies. Remember that? And then we lost on the rest. So that was a flat trade. And then we really made our money back right here when it bumped back up off of that 7. What a great long. I know Neil had that off that 7. And it just, when I saw basically 1, 2, 3, 4, let's call it 15 candles in a row to the upside, that's where I go, thank you, shorted all that, right back in, and then we got out for flat, or maybe a 1 or 2 penny hit once it broke higher. That was a mistake right there because you could see that VWAP basically has flattened out the whole way, and that out at that time, if I just zoom back out here, was at 60, or it was 60, yeah. So out when it hit 60, the high only went to 67 or 68, and then since then, it's just been downside moves. So there is something on the bid right now. That's 160,000 shares, so it's not a whole hell of a lot, plus all the dark pools, plus everything, but I don't know what the average or what the record is. I know we're nowhere near the average, but CCL today is on 197 million shares. So it's not going to have a problem hitting out any sort of level that comes around. So we'll continue to watch CCL here today as it approaches that $7 mark.
And Apple is at 140 as we speak. Much like CCL at 7 that went to 701, Apple has gone to 1401. Intel's at 20. This is going to happen at the same time, isn't it? Intel's at 201. So I didn't even get the 201 fill, which is, let me get on the bid there. I'm already on the bid. Anyway, so I am on the bid to get more shares of Intel at 201, but I'm getting out of that at 26, the same way I'm getting out of Apple at that said 140 level. It didn't get there. Well, it hasn't been there. This morning was a bit of a test at 140, but it didn't actually get there. So this is the first time we're seeing that 140 mark. We didn't even see it in yesterday's trade. So the bottom is in on these markets, whether or not it can hold. Because I understand the ES is slightly below support, and the NASDAQ is slightly below support. But following through to the downside, I mean, some of these names that are on these lows, they really need to break here. So that's Apple needs to break. Intel probably doesn't matter to the indexes as much anymore, or at all anymore. But Apple certainly, if we bounce from here, then the lows might just hold in the overall market. So as we get up, then I better be on the offer to scalp some of this out because the trend is to that downside. The thing about sitting there in front of a level is I'm on the bid at Intel 01s. Like it got to 2601, but I'm passive, so I haven't even gotten a fill. Like I'm not even long at 01s yet. I got some at 03. I've got nothing at 2601. I can't lose more than 4 or 5 cents on that trade, unless my stop were to not work. If you're watching some other names out there, Tesla, that just rolled over. The low's now broken. I feel like this is trending down. You want to be on the south side of it. I'm still just in AMAT to the short side and Micron. Although Micron, I'm going to note you right here. So Micron is holding VWAP. So I feel the same way like a couple of days ago. I shorted this when the market headed lower. It's bounced off VWAP twice and the market's headed to the bottoms and Micron's on VWAP. So what I'm going to do here is park a bid in front of VWAP myself, get out of Dodge if I can, and not reload the short in Micron because it looks relatively strong at this moment.
All right, just quickly there, we'll do this again as it goes timber down. We're getting our graphics. We're going to get some new graphics on board as well. These guys super busy. As soon as that happens, man, we'll have some new ones. And we're taking some of the suggestions down for you as well. The one that I want for sure is like every trade that I'm like questioning, I want a 92.5% free throw
Isn't it
thing there.
93.5?
92.5.
92.5? Okay.
Yeah, come on. Look. Fahad has to be humble. There's no way in hell he would say 93.5. I mean, how believable is that a random dude that hasn't shot a free throw in how many years? 5 years would be able to shoot 92.5%? You know, that's more realistic than 93.5. Nah, it's probably not good to go right there. But here we go. See you later. Hit the alarm button for this one as... Again, man, we started this show off going short. We talked about going short, the market's short. Where's our, here it is. Here it is. I threw our bull over to Sharif on the midday show, and I said, flip that thing over, bud. And there it is. So now we're into this. And we just got a 90.
Oh, wow,
remember I told you where we were bidding? 63.93? Well, let's go, man. Pigs get slaughtered. Excuse me. And there it goes, the market to that downside. And yeah, I'm not celebrating. I mean, I wish the market would hold up. I told you I actually bought some Intel at $30. Like, hello.
Intel broke, by the way. I'm short 99s.
Yeah, of course, Intel broke. Let me guess. Intel broke higher or lower?
Oh, lower. Broke the low. So Apple 140 is again here. It has not broken. There's about 140,000, 150,000 shares on NASDAQ alone. And it's through. And that's it. Like, that quickly, it's like out and short at 96. Like, that's how fast it happens. Like, you're at fresh lows on Apple right now. The market's headed down. Hold on to your shorts, man. What happened?
Nothing. I have like one last bite here, and he took a picture of me.
Of course.
Anyway,
Look, man, they do it to me when I'm eating Timbits all the time on the show.
No,
and
it's fun.
So I'm
It's
just
fun.
saying,
It's fun.
It's fair. It's fair.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay, but on that note, Neil, there's a super chat there for you. I'd read it, but it's for you. So.
Okay, hold on a second. Sean,
put it on that. Put it on the thing, because it's a big one.
Oh, thank you, Playmaker. 88. Of course, it's 88, brother.
Show
Love
Neil's
it.
screen, man.
Here we go. We'll go here.
Yeah.
There it is. Thank you, Playmaker. Turning out Neil, he folded like his Buffalo Bills. LOL, wow. Looking forward for Neil to drop some bars today. Come on, man. The Bills.
That's hard. That's hard.
The Bills screwed up last week against Miami. Anyone that watched that game understands. Like, you got to understand them with time on the clock and the situation. Situational awareness was terrible. You got to get down and get the field goal off. They had chances to win the game. They're the better team. Everyone understands they're the better team. It's not like
they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I mean, it is what it is.
They're amazing.
The thing is, and I'm not going to, I mean, what happened to obviously Tua yesterday was just so crazy. I mean, I feel so bad for not just his family, but for himself as well. I mean, that could be a career ender. But let's just move away from that for a second. I mean, other than Miami, I thought Miami did have a chance. I don't think without Tua, I don't think they do. But I think you're really only competition now. I think Los Angeles Chargers, and then, of course, the Chiefs. But other than that, I don't really see too much there.
In the AFC,
is there a team I'm missing there?
I'm not afraid of Baltimore.
I don't think I know Cincinnati won yesterday, but they have O-line problems. You guys will eat that O-line up.
They can't protect anybody.
They're not. And not only that, you guys are healthy again this week. Last week, I think you're missing 3 or 4 defensive players last week. No, forget about the offense. Honestly,
Micah Hyde's out for the year.
Neil, like, I know that you're not like a receiver or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that if you were out there, Josh Allen might be able to find you a couple times. So I'm not worried about.
Run a solid 40.
I'm not worried about Gabe Davis or anything like that. It's their defense that I think is going to win it for them, to be honest with you, because their offense is going to put up points, man. So we're obviously we love the Bills and we love football here as well. So shout out to you.
I got to get back to trading for a quick
Thanks
second.
for that super chat.
And thank you, definitely thank you, Playmaker. But there might be, we always talk about wick bottoms. This got to 139.80 80 on Apple. So I
I
got
should've gone
one
over.
fill out, and now you're back above that 140 level. So this is where it always gets tricky because you have a wick bottom. This is where a shakeout can happen. Like if you break out here, you're gonna shake out those like day trader, break short type, like which I just did, and you get that stop out, and then you can start reversing into a huge long opportunity. So a lot of times a breakdown, it's a tighter stop on that trade because you don't want to get trapped at that low. We'll see if it does happen. Look, 140.03 is on the bid right now, but Intel on the other hand, like that broke 26 out. It's just gliding slowly to the downside because that's what Intel does. So this one, not really a lot of buyers since the break of 26, but it's slowly moving to the downside, Brendo.
A little one popping up here, guys, that's been on quite the tear ever since announcing a week or so ago an offering. So this is FNGR on the NASDAQ, which is Finger Motion, a software company. So a nice little pop here on a volume spike once again after topping out around 375. There's nothing new today, but if you go back to, again, a week or so ago, I think it was, there was an offering announced on this company, but a nice pop here for FNGR.
We're just joking. Playmaker, I love you, brother.
Yeah, we're just playing. Yeah, we're just playing. Well, thanks to the super chat and that jersey you got, Sharif, man. I mean, the guy's
It's
still
fire.
the guy's still glowing about it. He was wearing it all around.
The thing is, you had to see Sharif's face when he opened up and for the
was
rest
like,
of the
"This is
day.
amazing." He
Like
loves it.
you cannot hide how genuinely happy he is. He's a legit fan of.
Now we just
of
need
Dallas.
Bills and Packers jerseys, but
Yeah,
I mean,
look, man, those Bills,
I have an Aaron
baby.
Rodgers jersey. I got to get a new Packers jersey. I don't know who I'd get, but okay, like I'm not gonna get
Romeo
Alan
Dobbs.
Lazard or anything
Romeo
like that.
Dobbs, bro.
I know, but
Romeo
I just,
Dobbs
some
is
of these rookie
legit.
guys.
Nah, man, he's a player. He's a
Jair Alexander, maybe
Okay,
one
true.
of the best
He's-
corners in the league. I mean,
he's
I
the
think I'll
second
just
best player
Go
in
with
that
that guy. Okay, let's get back to some stocks here because that's what we're trying to do. All right, so just quickly here, looking to see if there's anything at support or anything like that. We're already short here in AMD. JP Morgan's at 105. I'm just thinking Under Armour was a new 52-week low today, as was obviously Nike. Okay, so let's look at Nike quickly. Nike's at 83 again, so that could be a level. I was mentioning that level of 82, I believe, earlier this morning. That held up in the morning, and then right now. So, man, yeah. So. Yeah, that looks good. We're below the 50 period, below the 200, below VWAP right here for NKE. So it looks like Nike is trying to do a little bit of a dance to the downside here. Again, obviously, I would love the short up here near that 200 period, which is going to be 84. So to me, I think we can be patient and wait for that. There's a lot of time to go. Yeah, why not? 83. I mean, it's right here right now. You're looking at this, and I just keep forgetting that I just zoomed in so tight that, we could take this short right here. So, you know what, let's do that. Let's go short Nike. We haven't had this position yet on for today. I think that top right here could be respected, 84.15. So if we get it, we just touched that 94.95 area. So let's put an offer there. And again, it's going to be position specific, right? I mean, I don't want to get, like, even now, you get 90s, that's fine. You say, what's the difference between 90 and 95? 5 cents. But, it's not about that. It's about trying to follow the rules. I want this to get up to the 50 period, and then we'll average it in here around that 80. There we go. So now we have it. We want to average in around this 84.05 or so spot. And then if we take that out, then we can get out of Nike. Maybe the market does rally. I mean, I know you're short Apple, or you were.
The battle at 140 right now is it's pretty cool to watch. I'm just watching the level too. Like it'll get down back to 140 even. You'll see like people slam it back into the teens, but I'm looking for places that I want to reverse into a long. I'm looking at Tesla. Tesla held 266 on a dime, so it's held a nice little consolidation. If we do bounce from here, there's some things that are relatively strong that can be worth it. I will not be reversing until long no matter what. It's not going to happen. I was looking at Roblox earlier. That could be something that if we do get a jailbreak to the upside, it's still above 36. I tried the short when it broke 36, but that's holding VWAP like an absolute charm. We had that long, same thing at 36 even. So if we do jailbreak to the upside, I do like a Roblox above VWAP, but as I say that, this battle that just keeps waging on Apple, it's pretty amazing to see. Like, if we break here, I'm going to get out. I'm not sure I want to reverse an Apple itself, but that might just be the way to go. Roblox I for sure like. Going to hang on to the shorts in the semis. But if we head southbound and Apple cannot hold on to 140, I'm not sure there are many longs out there that are going to hold up. It's such a big bellwether for the market. And again, it just went to 99, right back to 03 in a split second. So this could take a little bit to settle out because there's a lot of shares changing hands between 139.90 and 140.10. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and let's not also sleep on the fact that I'm just trying to work my way through this. But anyways, we'll hit that right now. Now we're at 12 cents in the money. This is why price matters. We took out a dime already for 10% of our Nike trade right there. So into the short and out. And again, I know that, okay, here we go. Come on, bring the pain now, Nike. Hopefully we can hit 75 now, hit that bottom, which is 69 or 70. We'll see if we can get out at 75. I like playing around those key levels. Those of you that watch the show know all about that. So let's wait to see what we're doing right now here as the market just continues to break new lows. Here, I believe this is a new low on the day. Yes, it is. Every move down is a new low here. So absolutely disgusting. Really happy that at least we have this AMD on board, which is really rocking right now to the downside. It did retrace back up, and now you're right back down here. Another opportunity for me to get into or out of some AMD here as that's rocking and rolling. And then there goes as well Nike. So let's see, can we get that 75 print here for Nike? We just shorted this 5 seconds and a little bit more than that, about a minute and 5 seconds ago. There it is. Holy shoot, man. Man, like this is like what we're doing, man. We're on one right now again, and when that happens, there's only one thing to do, and again, it is a contractual obligation of mine. We have to spin. I hear Sharif. Is that Sharif in the background? I hear some wooing going on there. Yes, it's either Sharif or Ric Flair there in the background, and if Ric Flair was here, I think we'd have him on the show. So what's up to Sharif? Thank you for that one as well. But yeah, there it is. See ya, Nike. It's nice knowing you. Let's see what's happening to that to the downside. And then here goes AMD again. I'm just going to punch out some at 90 now. I mean, what? Okay, well, we did, and it spiked it back up, but there it is. We did get out of some 90s there. We only got out of a quarter of what we had left. And did you see the move? Like, punched out 90, and then it kind of went for a little bit of a jog there, but then it stopped completely and then went back to the downside. That just shows you, like, the algorithms there, they see, like, a real order come in, and everyone just pulls their offers, man. So sometimes that's what happens, but we're familiar with that. So when that does happen, we just kind of, like, chuckle about it. But there it is, man. AMD just getting destroyed by yours truly. And then there goes Nike as well. It was just in the 60s. Let's see if we can get back. Oh, no, it wasn't. Sorry, that was Netflix. Let's see if this can get down here. My next bid is 60.
There we go. We'll hit this one. Not that either one of us is trading a cannabis stock, but Intel, even Tony was like, yeah, that's got to be a short, right? And 26 broke. It's been a nice little slide to the downside. That battle in Apple that was happening at 140, well, let's just say the Bears won that one. And it is headed back into the downside. It's now heading down to 139.50. I do have a bid down there, looking 131s. Pretty much everything that was hitting short. Like right now, AMAT's about 2 in the money. Tesla, which felt like it could have been strong and caught a bid right back down toward those lows. I'm no longer going long. That Roblox long. We needed to hold the bottom if I was going to go long in Roblox. At this point, I'm thinking about hanging on to these shorts, looking for those re-entry prices out there. It's all about that. And one more for you. I see you market crash dummies. Futures alert. Yeah, look where we're headed towards on the futures. That 11.1 level on the NASDAQ incoming. We talked about that this morning. You break this down, and it could get ugly. Apple's broken support. There's a few names out there that are still kind of strong. Tesla hasn't really chewed through its low of the day just yet. That is at 262.50. Tesla breaks that, and you got a fresh low on it. Right now, it's $4 above the low. So Tesla actually holding up respectably well.
Someone said crypto ain't failing. Yeah, we'll look at crypto in a minute. I'm just, did I get that, Phil? No, I did not. I was actually at 64. The bottom, I was watching. I didn't know if I got it or not. We did not get a 64 print. So, hopefully that will come back in for Nike. And again, like is what it is. I mean, I just put this trade on for you right there at 84, and now we're all in the money. Hopefully, if you have it with us, 27 cents now in the money on this trade, and then another trade that we put on for you is this AMD one. And again, like you can trade, eat pizza, do all that at once. There it is, a nice little move. Again, we'll go whoa, whoa, whoa as chicken dinner winter time. No chicken on that pizza, but now that we have this,
that's a reasonable topping.
Yeah, chicken. I like chicken. Like I said, there's a really good. There's a place by my house there that has a really good Thai chicken pizza, and it's really really tasty with that Thai sauce on there. And then you got it's roasted red onions.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
like
you're talking.
Chicken, some sort of a Thai sauce. And then there's roasted red peppers on there as well. I don't know. Anyways, now we have to focus on stocks because otherwise. All right. So nice little move to the downside, man. We're just starting to cash out. I don't know, man. The Nasdaq's now down that 1%. I don't really see anything, happening. Nike goes right back. Is that the bottom of the day? No, the bottom of the day is down here, 82.63. So realistically, if Nike wants to make a move, it still has $1 more to get to the downside. But just so everybody knows, that's 20, 40, 60. So we only have 40% left, and I'm debating right here at 50. I'm not debating. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take another piece out here around 50. And then if we have to hold the rest, we'll hold the rest. We have AMD downside, right? So we have the AMD trade. And then so if Nike wants to collapse and throw up all over itself, then it's already doing that for me. So, that's good, man. I don't know. Hopefully we can make enough money to buy ourselves some more shoes. We'll see if this makes a move to the downside here for NKE. And right now it's just, we shorted it there. Happy to do that. We looked at it for you. Kind of a new name for me today. But again, it's on the sticky note. So that's the other thing. You want to make sure that you're looking at these names like Nike, MU, Apple, and Meta. So actually, I haven't got into Meta today, but Apple's my #1 stock. And this was my #1 trade of the month. Here today for me, just from profit-wise, was this trade here for Apple. So really happy with the way this market's moving. And good thing we got a little piece out there of Nike because I'm seeing the futures right now trying to bounce a little bit up.
Yeah, they're trying to bounce off those lows, right? Like we showed that level on the futures. We did bounce off it, so there's going to be an effort made. But guess what also bounced? Not at 7, but at 7.10 on Carnival Cruise Line. So it's found a little bit of a support level. Well, $7 was already support. Maybe that 7.10 is going to be a little bit of something. Now that we've put a fresh low in, I do want to go to some things that were holding up relatively well. Someone noting in the chat that Palantir was holding up well. I didn't check it out, but
is that Henry by any chance?
No, it wasn't Henry. It was actually
okay. So then maybe we should check it out.
It wasn't Henry, but I'll get to it in a second. But Roblox just bounced off its recent low, 35.85. So this is a consolidation I'll take a shot on in Roblox.
Market.
It's back above that or at that 36 level. I'll give it to this low of the day. If this breaks down, fair enough. But this is one of the names I wanted some exposure. If we're going to break to the upside, I did know I wanted this one long. So I just jumped into it now, and I promised you I would take a look at it. Second ago because Palantir, well, it just broke VWAP and it's needs support. But yes, it's up 2.5%. I'm not going to pretend it's not strong, but not nearly as strong as it was like 5-10 minutes ago when it was holding right above VWAP. Roblox trying to get above, just grab that long. I'm looking for something else that I want to go into long.
Someone just said, looks like you guys going to lose money. I don't know, maybe not I, my friend, on this one. I don't think Neil either. We're actually trading really well today. We speak about our own accounts, so, this is fine. We just took another piece out there on AMD as it came back to the upside. It looks like we might lose on the last piece. But again, guys, what is GTI? This is why, that's that pink sheet stock. So I don't know what that's doing. That's that GTII. We'll have a look at that if you want in a minute. Neil can call it up. I don't know what it's doing. I don't even have it up. So we'll look at that. But again, we got out of AMD there. It broke above 64 on that rally. And this is why anyways, the way I trade, I lose money all the time. It's not this week, but it's been a good one. I don't think I'm red on any day this week. So that's positive for me today. But we go short, get out when it comes into these levels. It breaks below, man, and then these are just outs. Like right now, I have about 15% of my position left. So it's not. This is just how I trade. So sometimes we do take hits, and it's just like Nike. I even told you, I can't. This is the thing. It's not cherry picking. It's not like I'm telling you right now I told you 20, 40, 60, right? That means I only have 40% left. So, and I did miss a bid. I was actually bidding. I'm bidding right now 52. That bottom is 55. So if it comes back in, you'll see me get filled at that 52 level. And again, everybody please trade your own book, but I'm just trying to give you some ideas where I'm getting out. And if you want to hold for a bit longer, that's completely cool, man. Everybody, and I'll often say to myself, when I'm taking that Apple trade down here today, I explained it on my why I got out. I had a lot of shares. It was a great trade. It came up here, hit some levels. We got out. Obviously, I wish I would have held it all the way to the top, but we holding pieces, hold a piece, hold a piece for that, hold a piece for there. So that's the way I trade. I'm trying to get better at all that, but that's my strategy for right now. So yeah, sometimes it will look like the trades are coming back, and yeah, I will take hits on pieces of the trade. So that's just the way that I sort of build the trades up, and yeah, we're gonna just look for some more opportunities for you. DraftKings is actually up today.
I had to draw a line, like a vertical line went horizontal. Like I have my horizontal line selected and threw a vertical one. Anyways, this is my stop on Apple. The first half, we did get some out there. I got to get off the line because I don't want to draw one. And then the last stopped out. This is pretty much exactly the same moment or close enough to the moment that I got at least one long, and that is only going to be Roblox. All the chip names, I'm holding the chips short. They're all pretty much in the money right now. I mean, Intel came back a little bit. So when Apple came back and stopped out the second half, Intel touched 26, got maybe actually no, it didn't even really break. It got to 26 and then reversed again. So that worked out pretty well. I did get a lot of it out into the first 10 cents of the move and then going to hold on here. The trend to me is a little bit unbroken. It's a great bounce in the market, but I'm not sure the trend is completely broken. I did want something else, not just Roblox to the long side. Palantir, maybe I should have gone for, but now this is starting to go up. We keep talking about wick bottoms. This doesn't really qualify as one. It's not that far off. It's more like catching a little bit of support, and then you can see a very tight consolidation. Now you're back above VWAP, and this is going to the upside. The best thing about this trade is this is exactly the same level that we liked the breakout on Roblox at 10 a.m. Like at 10 o'clock, I was like 36 break, 36 break. That's what we took. Now, when the market's at the low of the day, we get to take the same trade, 36, on Roblox. That's what I love to see sometimes. The market makes it a little bit more simple for you. And when it does, you should probably take advantage of it. But if we get to the high, fantastic. There's a couple of small caps out there, not ignoring ATXI. I have been sort of keeping tabs on it. I'm not like these are solid moves, like 11 to 11.50. There's nothing, you don't sleep on 50 cents on $11 stock, but it has been sort of very slowly trending up. There haven't been any big pushes, like those big down candles that you can snag a little bit of a long if it consolidates and then get the high. There's no top breaks on it. So I'm watching the stock, but I'm waiting for something big to happen so that I can jump in when the volume picks back up. But yes, super strong, one of the strongest names out there in the market, ATXI. I'm just not seeing any trades for me in this one.
All right, so, we take some more short there. You can see, Nike just ripped up. All right, let's take some profit. I mean, I'd hit the thing again, but what's the point? We just went short there, 97s. We just got out 87s there. So there it is. We just took that short against that 200 period. Just came right back in, took some more profit out on that one. So let's see if we can get another bid down here, maybe in the low 80s for Nike, if it does come back. And again, the reason why, like I saw in the chat, you want me to keep explaining profit-taking strategies and things like that, right? So I'll do it again here on Nike just real quick. So like my out is going to be about 10 cents, right? I mean, here's 84. You got to pick your outs. Like look at the 200 period coming down. Initially, my out was going to be up here, but now that we've come back in, as the market's moving, the 200 period's changing. So I got to have an out, and if we break it, it's like a trend change. So I don't really want that. It's been a big move back up to the upside. So if we're going to go short here at 97, my out was like 04, 05. So that's about 10 cents worth of risk. So when this market drops down in 10 cents worth of a victory there, we're going to make sure that we capture some of that because that puts the risk and reward, the risk to reward as 1-to-1. So if you take all of your trades then you could be 51% hitter and make money. But that's obviously you want to hit at a higher success rate than that. But that's sort of the logic there. And that's kind of what I put in my head because you're going to have to trade your own book, trade your own style. But to me, I like when the risk to rewards are like that. And then we can hold on for a bigger move down. And for example, I just got out on that one. Again, about 20% out. Every single one of these outs, I'm just going to keep taking them out, randomly. But for 10 cents there, now we'll see if there's a lower low. But now you have an idea of where my out is and how I deal with risk versus reward. What's up, Brendo?
ATXI, a little low float name, just popping back up here on volume. Wanted to show you this real quick because this might be a record that I've seen lately anyways. It's tough to see, but 709,000 shares in the float of this one. The guys in the midday were talking about this recently, reverse split, trying to get back to day highs here for ATXI.
Yeah, that's the lowest that I can remember. I'm sure there's stocks out there with smaller floats, but for us discussing it or showing it on the show, or even I
really hate the SEC.
The midday guys traded this one. I'm pretty sure
say that
traded
out loud.
it, but 700,000 floats.
I just don't know. Like I shouldn't say I hate the SEC because I don't.
The problem is with that is like to soak the entire float becomes so cheap dollar-wise, right? Like it's an $11 stock.
Yeah.
It just doesn't cost any money to grab up everything. It's done 25 million shares. That's the problem. You're essentially allowing You're allowing a security to be manipulated by just about anybody with a decent enough bankroll in the trading game. Like, it's ridiculous. That's the problem. If it was a 100 million float and it's $11 stock, even if it's a 10 million float, it's reasonable. But I mean, come on, give me a break. Like 700,000, it's just not a lot of money, relatively speaking. Like, a lot of traders and firms are going to have accounts that are going to be able to soak that float, no problem. That being said, as a trading vehicle, it's in a pretty good channel. I'm thinking maybe I should participate in it because it's not really showing a lot of signs of slowing down. I think if it gets, every time it pulls back, it seems to hold a higher low. So I feel like it's going to be about 11.25 here. So there's a dip to 11.25. I think that's going to be a good spot to get in. I got to start monitoring this Intel because as much as it's still holding below 26, which is good because it's relatively weak, the market is still trying to bounce off the bottoms. And as long as that's true, if it ends up making one of those late day reversals, profit taking on the shorts, well, Intel could be at VWAP in a hurry. So I'm going to it's not really a trailing stop, but I'm going to put a stop in here, maybe tighter than normal at about 03 or 04, just so that this doesn't get out of hand. I am out of most of it, but the market is creeping to the upside, and I don't want to get caught just sort of staring at this and watching it go back up with the rest of the market.
Yeah, I'm just trying to engage in another trade here for you guys on AMD. So, all right, so just to let you know, there it is. We'll just, I don't know why I hit diamond hands, not really diamond hands, but, we'll take another move out. We let it go all the way back up. And now that I'm seeing this, I was just talking obviously about that education and stuff like that. But, and thank you for all the nice comments. I want to say shout out to Aaron right here. Thank you so much, man. Aaron, Sean and Neil are such great teachers, learned so much from the show. I mean, and you might have heard Prad say that too, because we sort of took Prad aside and be like, yo, bro, we got to it's all about teaching, man. It's all about teaching. Like, the wins will come and that's fine, but it's like, if you can't follow your own kind of methodologies and then explain them to others, that's part of the key. Like, that's why we've continued in my career, hired so many traders and tried to teach as much as I possibly can. And I feel like it's helped me become a better trader too, like trying to work through some of these trades, right? So, all right. And anyways, as I was talking about that, I almost got caught up again. Should have shorted that against that. So we should have shorted on that move back up, especially because the NASDAQ is continuing to break. I mean, it's not breaking, but it's continuing its move down. That was a little scary there as we bumped back up. But again, like, nothing to be scared of. I mean, the shorts are still in. It's only 3:12. There's still 40 minutes left before the day closes. But, there it is, pumping again right back down there to that bottom again for AMD. So that's going to be another one to look at here today. Like, what is still up right now? Twitter is up right now on the day.
Some news, though. Well, actually, no, the news was bogus, so it doesn't matter.
We can look at Twitter quickly. There was super agent Ari Emanuel. So we think it's the guy from Endeavor, of course. And I was going to say Ari Gould there from Entourage. You know what? If the dudes from Entourage were involved here, I mean, Twitter probably would be solved by now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Victory!
Yeah, exactly. They had that movie. That was just a great series, a great bunch of characters in that, of course, as well. What was the friend, the shorter guy, the stockier guy? What was his name again? Oh man, forget it. These guys will get it. I didn't know Andy Griffith partnered there, and they were like,
I had a thought. There was one thing I wanted to add when you're talking about the education thing, because you were talking about a plan. Turtle's his name. I should have known.
Shit, see, I just hit my thing. I just pushed. Okay, well, I just got out of some Nike there. Okay, so
we're talking about like having a plan. If you can't articulate your plan, then you don't really have one. Like, if you don't, it's like if you're trying to argue something with somebody. Like, if you can't explain your point of view, then really, how strong is that argument? Exactly. You should go and take a step back and think about it. That's why I love debating. I had this conversation with Fahad because it holds you accountable. It puts you in a position where you have to be able to explain yourself and your reasoning, and that helps you better understand your own mind and your thought process and whatever strategy you might have. I'm not going to be profitable on AMAT today. I still think I'm out of it now because it seems like it's still relatively strong. It's down 2%, but hey, close enough to VWAP. I still believe overall that the news is negative. Micron's news is incredibly negative for AMAT, and it's on this gigantic floor on the daily, but it didn't really fall through. It might need to break $80 before this absolutely falls apart. I think it's going to be an interesting and great buy below those levels, but as a day trader, I'm licking my chops at this thing rolling over for a short. It didn't quite work out today, had to wait for it to pop up to the high. to get some back. But this is kind of on the precipice of falling apart here, AMAT. We'll check that out next week. Intel still falling to the downside, still have some Micron. And I got I got shaken out of Apple. And that's the thing about taking a bottom break, is sometimes it's harder to hold it against you because you're short at the low at that time. When you short pops off of resistance, a little bit easier to hold for the move because as it's working trend down, you're participating in the trend. That said, hung on to a couple of shorts I felt a little bit better about, and we'll go work with them. Roblox, I should have just taken another leg out of it because this market's now on the lows. This is threatening VWAP. Still relatively strong, but starting to give it up a little bit here. If we continue to break lows, it's not as if on a Friday ending on lows, many stocks are going to be able to resist that. So this Roblox long might not be long for my blotter. I don't know.
Might not be long for long.
It's too many longs. I was trying not to say long again.
Yeah, and then I just doubled down on it. Okay. All right, so again, you know, we are not long, we are short, so we're doing this here as the market once again retraces right back to its bottoms. You are very, very close on the NASDAQ. You're about like 50 points away from taking down that June low right now as we go right back to 11,100 and bounce off of that level. So we're bouncing off that level right now, and there it is, a nice aggressive move back up to the upside off of, again, another key level, right? Like, this is the thing. If you're just joining us now for the first time, welcome. Make sure you hit that like button. I feel like we've had probably one of our best shows here. We had the crazy fun amount of time there with the pineapple pizza. That was a lot of fun. We had Tony back on here for you. We've put on some banger trades here so far. We've done some great explanations, I hope, for that. And guess how much it's cost you? 0. So let's go with a like then. How about that? Anyways, there's the bounce off 11,100, almost clean to the very, actually, not just, I think it was basically to the very point there, and then a nice move back up. Let's go back over to Nike quickly. It just went back down to 85. We took another piece out. So again, more outs on this short, still trying to hold for that move to the downside. Whether or not it comes or not, we'll wait to see on that one. You know, Amazon, again, nothing on this trade today. We went in and out right there. You can see it's very, very small. We tried to go short 115. It broke and we got out, which was great because it went all the way to 117. But right now, you are starting to make some of these lows. I'm pretty interested if it takes 114 right now. So 114 on Amazon was back here, kind of, you know, resisted the break there. I mean, it did break. That's in the pre-market, though, down to 830. So I'm trying not to look at that. That has nothing to do with anything. That's the PCE number that came out. But then right here, like, we did dip down to 113, gave it back, and then was sort of defending and bouncing around this 114. So I'm feeling like if we take 114 out, that's probably going to be a good short. And then you see this level right here, this 114.14. Like, I guess I could go short there against this. How much is that? That's still 54 cents. I'd rather wait for a 114 clean break on this, to be honest with you. So, yeah, let's do that. I'm pretty confident in that. Let's wait for a 114 clean break here on Amazon. And just before I go to Brendan, Nike right now trying to break lower as well. This time we'll put a bid here, 66 or so, get another piece out before that bottom. What's up, Bren?
Airline's not really doing anything this afternoon, but worth a note for anyone interested in UAL. Apparently, they're going to stop service to New York's JFK airline or airport altogether. So, no more United flights out of JFK, guys.
I mean, I don't know enough to know how big of a deal that is.
Right, like I don't know what percentage of their flights generally go out of there, but I thought JFK is like
they're kind of big.
Pretty big.
It doesn't sound good, but
pretty big. I don't know if it's is it a hub? I know there's a huge one like in Chicago and stuff like that. But anyways,
yeah.
Okay.
O'Hare is a.
Did you look at UAL? No, not yet.
I didn't. O'Hare's,
you go over whatever you're going to go over.
Not fun to
I'll look at UAL here.
But this ATXI, it did get down to 11. I let it try to bounce off it first before getting in here, but it does look like it wants to put another test in lower. I don't want to add to it unless it consolidates a little bit. And if we do break down, like I'd hate to be stuck if it breaks 1080. I don't want to be stuck between here and VWAP. So I will take a tight stop, willing to reload it if it comes down. But every time it's done this, it's usually had a pretty solid and quick turnaround, right? Like you can sort of see, like you get these wicks to the downside, and then you're almost immediately recovering. This one looked like it was doing that at 11. It still has a bit of a chance, but in the next couple of minutes, if you're not already back up at like 1140, 1150, then there could be a bit of a sell going in. Remember, it's 320 on a Friday. So even like the strongest names might find some profit takers. I don't know, like how How confident do any of you guys feel holding over this weekend in this market? Always ask yourself that, especially in some of these like smaller cap names too as well. But it looks like it's trying to bounce. I do have a relatively tight stop. 1-to-1 would be me getting out some in front of that 1140 to 50 from where my stop is. So I will get an offer out there just in case it pops up. The float, like I said, is the story here. In addition to the new 700,000, it's done. I mean, it's done like 30 times. Sorry. Yeah, it's like 30 times that. It's insane. It's like 26 million shares in total volume today. So chewing through that like a hot knife through butter. The last pop we just had, I said I should have taken more roadblocks out the last time. So I did this time because the market is in a downtrend. So if you have a long that's working, you probably want to cover some of it when it goes in the money. So I've been told.
Yeah, probably got good advice on that one. Yeah, so I don't want to, I mean, I don't ever want to ignore a member or anything like that. So I'm going to say shout out to Get Results here. What's up with ATMD 500 million? So, you know, this is a name that we've had before. Isn't AMTD, isn't that HKD sort of parent company there?
Yeah,
but anyways, so I'm not sure. I mean, Brendan, maybe if I'm missing something, we haven't really talked about this name for a bit, but there's the move all the way up to 14. It's coming back in. I always think that when you're, I mean, and if you're not talking about this, I apologize, but I just want to do it quickly because these stocks need to stay above $1, right? I mean, if they don't stay above $1, I know this is on New York, and I'm not sure if it's the same restriction, but like I know NASDAQ, you can only be under there for I think it's 45 days, and you get a notice about delisting or they want a reason why it's there, and yada yada yada. So this name again, I wouldn't be surprised considering how much this can go, and if it's that same company there that, you know, they'll probably come up with a reverse split to keep it up here, you know, again. So like if you're at $11, or sorry, this is like what MindMed did, and we're gonna have Jake Freeman on Monday. But you know, when you go from 120 up to 1120, it's a 10-to-1 reverse split. So that'll keep your stock price artificially inflated, right? And of course, the board will always agree to that. So if you're talking about AMTD, then I don't really have much on it. Today, it's doing absolutely nothing. There was some moves, obviously, early. I shouldn't say nothing because, like, for it to go from $1.27 in the pre-market all the way down to $1.17, I mean, that's like, you know, a 7.5% move, but, you know, not really doing anything all day here. So I apologize if that's the name, but I don't see anything happening in AMTD right now.
Yeah, and look, there'd be lots of stock that were moving around earlier that aren't doing a heck of a lot. Like ATXI was kind of an example of that. Then it started putting some moves. I know Arrival was doing some things. The EV name was just another EV name that was testing $1 this morning and now nowhere near it. Keep forgetting about another EV name, which we usually talk about them, but I feel like we've been neglecting our friend NIO. Well, when I look at stocks that are holding up relatively well today, yeah, NIO ends up in that, of all things, NIO ends up in that bucket, and guess what it did this morning? Spoiler alert, wick bottom, and then break out higher. But like this has to be on the radars because these have been beaten down so much. It touched $15 at that low, broke back out, is now trying to hold 16 even. Yeah, like look what's been happening since it rejected the 200 period on the daily. It's been essentially straight down through the 50. Now you're bouncing off an obvious $15 level, or at least attempting to. On any kind of a recovery in this market or relief rally, this seems like a pretty good place to be. Now it's doing the typical NIO thing where it's not moving in the afternoon. It's a little bit frustrating. I hate that. The last maybe month or so, for whatever reason, a lot of the Chinese ADRs, they just simply don't trade in the afternoons. I mean, you can probably figure that out why. We can go conspiracy theory if we want to. Tesla is finding support over and over again at 266, so I'm just going to go long on Tesla in front of 266. Not much else is setting up where I like the risk to reward, so I want something else to the long side that's big cap. I'm going to try Tesla 266.
Okay, so just an update here for all you home gamers out there. AMD is 50 cents in the money. It just went down to 75, but look what I'm noticing, obviously. I'm not going to take that anymore. That's too far up. I don't want to give it back. If it rips up to 64.34, nah. That was going to be my out when we were here, but now that I'm seeing, the way this market's just sort of hovering around that 1% and doesn't want to take down that 11,100, I'll give you guys out there one guess to what you think, where you think I'm going to get out of this. But that line is right at $64. So, if you take it back up, we're short at 64.32. I mean, honestly, we'll be able to take that out now. So if it goes back up to the upside, we just have a small piece left. But again, this is part of why you hold, right? This is why you hold. It's just like that Nike trade, right? Like you want to hold it for some of those bottoms. I told you we were at 66. I mean, that's right where it went to, and we actually got filled there. So although we did not get filled down on that downside, we did get filled over here. So that 55, we missed it, but we'll take that fill. And sometimes you just got to sit there to take it. I told you, sometimes on a lot of these shares, there's actually not real bids and offers. So that's why you'll often see like Neil or myself, sometimes we'll get, like sometimes when we punch out, we'll be that top wick. It's because we might have been the only shares up there. Everybody else might have pulled their bids. And that's kind of what happens down here too. Like when it comes back in, it hits me and it's like, uh-oh, there's an order there. And then it bounces back up. So a lot of the time, that's kind of what happens. And it's like, I kind of wish that wasn't the case, but hey, algos and HFTs are still there. No matter what they tell you, there's speed bumps in the way, but it doesn't really matter. These guys, they're smart enough to get around all these regulations and everything like that. And now with routing and dark pools and all that kind of stuff, man, it's just, you got to put your price. And if you get it, you get it, and that's that. So, but it hasn't stopped us from making money. We continue to do that here today again. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to see, what do you want, Playmaker? Here's another 929. I think Neil's going to be, oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a Coolio reference, obviously, here today. So, yeah, let's go. Neil, remember when we're go, go OG?
We go OG or go home.
We go OG. Remember, we go OG. I'll be watching. So
I know I see you. But how
might be a trader's paradise.
But hold on a second. The issue with that is, and I hate to say it, it's Friday and we're having some fun here, but we are only at 919 likes. So
I mean, I almost feel like if you don't get...
There's a rule of thumb around here when it comes to that. By the way, I just got stopped out on ATXI, so that just took out that recent support. But if we don't get to 1,500, it just doesn't happen. Like, that's the rule. I'm a man of my word. I ate pineapple pizza
Let's go higher
here
than
because you guys did it in the poll. But if we don't get 1,500, then I'm not going to do anything after, because that is the rule, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not that hard. You go there, you hit the like button, you click it. I don't know. It's pretty simple as far as I'm concerned. Playmaker, I got you.
You're a nicer guy than me,
You got
man.
an idea. What?
I would be, no, because I'd be upping that. Like, we have more viewers now.
It's true.
The 1,500 gets hit every Friday,
Yeah,
man.
we always hit it.
Like, even when Luke and I were here, it was like 2,000. Like, we gotta...
Next Thursday, I'm not here on Friday, so next Thursday it's 2,000. How about that?
Why not just do it now? I mean, there's literally, well, whatever. This is your gig. We're gonna get it anyways. There's 4,000 watching.
We're gonna get it.
Just get it. Get us to 2,000, then we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, Neil, obviously, every Friday it's real fun for us to do that, and I'm excited too because we don't discuss it. So I'm interested to see, of course. But you might be onto something there, Mr. Playmaker. What's up, only hundreds? Now, I mean, I don't trade the spiders. I would rather trade the TQQs, which, of course, is the triple NASDAQ ETF there that comes through. It does 200 million shares a day, and it's just a fantastic name. You may know it also as SQQQ. So this is the reverse of that. So this is just triple long for the NASDAQ. So if you can see here, see the NASDAQ, right now this is down 3.38. So without even looking, the NASDAQ must be down 1.13 or 1.2. There it is right there, so 1.2. So that's that, right? So it's basically, actually that's not completely in line right there for today. But anyways, it's just a triple, into the NASDAQ there. So there, now it's lined up. I guess just a matter of a couple ticks back and forth there. So anyways, or you can go with the SQQ, which of course would be the short. So you're thinking about the opposite way. So one will be up 3.6, one will be down 3.6. So that's what I do. We don't have, the reason why I do TQQ is because like if the market's tanking or going to the downside, I'd rather just see my position. Like I'd rather just be short the NASDAQ than long the SQQ. So that's just the way I do it. But for a lot of you out there, there is a borrow cost sometimes associated with TQQ. You know, so that's why you just want to say, hey, forget about it. Maybe I'm a long only trade, like my account can only go long. I'm not on margin, or maybe it's a PDT there, a pattern day trader rule. But yeah, SQQ versus TQQ. I just prefer these. The SPY is a good one though. I mean, it's $370, very similar to the Qs as well in that respect, that it's higher priced. For me though, I don't know. I'm going to stick with equities for now. Like I said, we're really feeling them and have been trading them quite well. So, but thanks for the ask there. Definitely a good product, man. The futures, great. We're going to have Arun come through. Actually, Arun's going to be here a week today.
Yeah, exactly.
So Arun and I will do the morning show together, and then you'll see some futures trading. That's pretty much the only thing he trades. He'll trade equity just to appease us, but you know, the bigger
his
risk.
bread and butter is.
That's what I'm saying. The bigger risk, and he'll tell this to you on the show. It's not like I'm not saying anything that those of you don't know. The bread and butter, as Neil said there, is the futures for Arun. So we're going to be really happy to do that. He still takes equity trades, but you know, we'll put in 5% of the risk or something as associated with his futures trading. But here we go, starting to make that move back up to the upside. So on that note, we are getting very close. What? How come my AMD didn't get out there?
So just from Brendan here, the
it's a
early
little
look
bit
on
higher.
the imbalances is 1.3 billion to sell.
Okay, that's been a while.
Yeah, so we haven't seen an early look that was that big. It is the end of the month, though. It's,
yeah, do you want to explain
it's
what
month
early
end,
look
quarter
means?
end. So the early look just essentially you have a closing auction at the end of the day. So flow orders can come in early. Financial Juice and some other places are able to sort of calculate and guesstimate basically what that is going to be. At 350, when it's disseminated market wide, you can see what the net imbalance is between buy and sell orders going into the closing auction is. And remember, the purpose of those is for them to be paired off. They make it public, so if there's a ton of buyers and a big buy imbalance on Apple, somebody who wants to sell a lot of shares knows there's going to be liquidity on the close for them to not move the price. So most times you do get pairing off of those imbalances. But when it's really big, it can move those markets. Speaking of, like, it's a 1.3 billion to sell, I just told you, and I just got trailed out of my short in Intel.
It just happened to me too.
So it doesn't mean the market's going down when that happens, because there's my trail out on Intel. I did miss Tesla by about 5 cents. Actually, no, it was more like 10 cents, to be honest, in front of 266. I was sitting at like 21. I think it printed. It got to 26 or 27, but really it was printing in the 30s, and now it got up to 67, only $1. But in this market where you're going sideways for the last half an hour, those do matter. Like, you're kind of trying to scalp inside of the range at this point. I still have Micron, I still have Roblox. If we end up bouncing to the upside, then this will be what I've got on. It's barely moving, but it's holding VWAP and relatively strong. So if we get a good relief rally, I'd expect at least test the high of the day. Well, maybe test halfway to the high of the day, then hold on for dear life. But I always put a trail in right before the imbalances come out. And given that it's indicating a sell, if you're long, and it does come out a gigantic sell, you want to take in your profit and not get smoked if it does come to the downside heavy.
Yeah, we did. We ended our position there on Nike as it took down 84. You could see that we did get punched long because I didn't put. The funny thing is, like, I didn't account for that, Phil. So whatever those shares were, I actually wound up punching long through 84. Made some money, but by pure fluke, because now it's falling back down right now. But again, that just goes to trying to respect some of the levels, right? And there goes AMD. I told you breaking through 64, and we're out. That actually came down to like 63.97. So I could have saved myself about a dime there if I had zoomed in a little bit and figured that out. Well, I didn't have to zoom in. It kept moving down. But at the time, it was there. So I saw someone say that, oh my God, this guy's super chat's going to get ignored again. So I apologize. I didn't see it. So 4-star strength, you do not have to super chat again. Hey guys, I messaged you earlier today and really want to hear the answer. So put it out again right now. I'm going to watch out for you if you still are. Hopefully you're still watching. And honestly, man, that's my bad. Bears vs. Bulls does a great job of getting us these super chats. However, we're sitting here trading real capital, real time, everything like that. So I can't zoom up far enough to find where it is. So you tell me, 4-star strength, what exactly that question was right now. Or is this what it is? Bears versus Bulls? Okay, so
I think he said
here it is, $10. All right, so here goes. Your mods DM'd it to you. Okay, good. Thanks for
I see it.
So
Yeah.
I see it right here. So 4-star strength. To build a medium to high risk portfolio for my newborn. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm actually doing that right now for my kids. Give me 5 to buy here. Oh, God. Okay. Well, all right. So, okay.
High risk?
Newborn, and you want to build. I mean, all right. So, again, because you're talking about kids here and like building a future and you want to be somewhat, for a portfolio, I would always try to think that maybe an ETF would probably be a good thing to get into. Therefore, you don't have the single stock risk, which can be very, very difficult. Like the last thing I'd want to say is like buy Roblox, and then the next thing you know, that thing drops huge, right? So for me, for you, I'll give you, whatever, 1 or 2 names. I'll just drop some more as we go. But honestly, man, someone just mentioned the spiders. Like, I would think that, especially because it's a newborn, that even the triple Qs or a NASDAQ ETF, there are ETFs out there that will pay a dividend as well, that are into the NASDAQ. But I would say, honestly, you could just start to nibble in right now into the Qs. I mean, I think you're at a decent level here. And again, you're asking for names right now, right? I still think the NASDAQ can go down a little bit more. But if you had 10 grand and you wanted to throw it into something right now, I think starting with $1,000 at the NASDAQ level, at the NASDAQ 100, isn't the end of the world at all. At these levels, you are right back to June lows. Hopefully, once this loads, I can show you here on our chart. But here's the triple Qs right now. You're definitely getting some, decent value considering where we've come from here. If we are getting close to the end of the rate cycle, rate hike cycle, I can't say that this is not going to be a bad position in 3 to 5 years from now. I mean, you're talking about a newborn into adulthood is what you said. So, I mean, if an adult is going to be 16 or 18 or whatever you mean by that, going into college or, I feel like you can't really go wrong with the NASDAQ. And then the other name, I'm not going to say NASDAQ and Apple, but why not go for something like a J&J right now? Something like a Procter & Gamble or a J&J that is a dividend aristocrat that will pay you that 2 to 4% yield, plus give you a lot of cover on a broader market of products and exposure. So my 2 picks for you would be the Qs, stay in the ETF, and if you don't like that, then I'd just go Apple. Or I would do a mix of Apple or Microsoft, and then I would do like a J&J or a Procter.
It's hard not to like where the value, I think long term you can get in some of the chips. I mean, you look at where Nvidia is right now. I get it; it's still expensive, and it's probably going to come down further. But it's not bad at all. As a 100% spec play, there's some interesting shot plays. But I hesitate to say things like that because it's for your newborn long term. I'm not going to tell you Tellurian, even though I'm getting a little bit antsy about thinking about that thing if it gets to $1.50. It just seems like a pretty good, solid, just take a shot kind of idea. But something that does pay a div, that it's actually at a price, even on the short term, that makes sense to me. And somebody messaged, and I apologize, because someone messaged me this morning about this, and I kind of responded saying, I actually have GM, but Ford is getting to a level where I am almost, if we don't bounce from here at 11, it's going to make some sense. And this is one of those, I could easily see if the market has any kind of relief rally, this can be at $14 in a few weeks. And long term, I think you're fine. I think it exposes you to into some of these EV plays, and it's a little bit more stable potentially. You're getting it at a pretty good price as well. So I throw that in there, but hesitate to give you pure spec plays. But if you had to put a gun to my head, Tellurian below $2, I think you're getting that at a reasonable, decent price because the risk there is. The risk on Tellurian is that you lose almost everything, to be honest with you, though. No, but it's true. But that stock in 15 years, you could be talking about 20, 30, 40, even better than that. It's just, it's very risky. Brendo?
Just a heads up on Spirit Airlines, guys. Big move down here. Broke 20 and got absolutely flushed, down 3% only. But there is an antitrust trial going on in this Spirit and JetBlue ordeal right now, so possibly something coming from that, but a huge move down here for a save.
There was even a ruling this morning. They're going to increase the price. They're going to increase the the cost for big bucket acquisitions. Like big firms making acquisitions are going to pay more, and small firms making acquisitions are going to pay a little bit less, and that's going to help raise money so they can fund more antitrust investigations. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive for the big boys to make their acquisitions. This is a pressure that's been put on the market for the last, I guess, how long has it been in administration? 2 years? The last couple of years, anyways.
Oh, Biden?
Yeah, but it's been a lot of pressure
year.
on acquisitions. See bigger spreads, like everything trades at a big premium from the price because there's risk that the deal won't happen. The regulators will shoot it down. That's going to be something we have to deal with. So going long on these things and thinking you can guarantee getting the deal price, it's just not there anymore. So watch out, Save. Maybe that doesn't happen. Market on the lows again.
Like as if we got punched out.
Yeah,
like, give me a break.
I'm about to get out of Roblox. This long
Stupid Nike.
Yeah, this long is going to give it up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Nike just collapsed back down again, right back down to
Intel
those
too,
lows
like,
right here. Everything. I mean, everything just got out, right? Unfortunately, we did take that 200 period. It's hard to hold those shorts, especially. It's not hard to hold them. I should take that back. It's just when levels get broken and you're in the money, sometimes you take those profit. I do have to say something here, though, before I get too carried away. Like, Neil and I both are not financial advisors by any stretch of the imagination.
Hell no.
So we're just giving you an opinion based on what we would think that we would do right now. And I told you that that's what I'm doing. So, you know, whether or not that's something that you like. And I've already told you that I bought Intel recently. That was at $30. It might be better at $26.50 or whatever it is right now, because that's another 4 to 5%
I got a stink bid on that.
dividend on that one as well. So, yeah, I don't know. We're going to wait for that. I'm just trying
I'm stink bidding 25 something. I forget where I.
That's not even that much of a stink bid, man. That's a Monday bid.
No. But it was a stink bid when 30,
it was at 40.
when 30 broke. So when I say stink bid, because you guys are like, what in the hell is Neil talking about? And it's fair. If you've watched the show long enough, you do know what I'm talking about. Essentially, what it means is, let's say you're looking to get into something on the long term, and you think it's at a relatively key level. So when it broke this floor on Intel, it's like, oh, I want to start adding to my position. I already own shares that are out of the money, but you want to start adding to the position, but I want it to fill more of the gap down. So you throw a bid, say in front of like 25, well before it gets there, and then sometimes you'll get these crazy bounces off the levels. You're just looking to get picked up. It's a bid where it's not close to it, but I'm not going to wait around and try to remember that I want to buy the stock. I mean, you can set an alert, but yeah, so a stink bid is anything lower. You can do it on a stock intraday. Like, technically speaking, when we're sitting at $8 on CCL this morning, both Sean and I, like the first long, like we were stink bidding it because you're sitting in front. It was actually, the second long. It was at 840, and I was already bidding 801, 803, 805, and it was nowhere there. I just wanted to be in front of that line because sometimes it'll bounce off a level like that and barely print it. Like, it might print 2s and go to 1, and then whoever was in the front of the line at 1 is the only person that gets to fill. That's more of a day trading thing and why we say stink bid in the first place. But anyways, that's way too long of an explanation. I think it's still $1.3 billion to sell, which is a little frustrating because I know, like yourself, I'm like, this is me getting wicked out of Intel, and it's just like right back to where it was before. I really don't want to get back into position on it because it's so late in the session. So you're likely going to see me just throw trailing stops on the 2 positions I have and then roll those into the imbalances. If it is a big sell imbalance, I would be having a look at the Qs here to see if there's a load up here. Let's go. If there's a bit of a trade to be had, you're sitting right on these lows. If it is a big number, and it goes the other direction, sometimes you can fade that move off resistance and scalp it back down to the low. That happened the other day, but you had to be really quick about it. Like, it was a big sell imbalance. It popped for a second, got to the first resistance, and slammed back down. And you could have scalped 40 or 50 pennies on the Qs easy, tried to hold for more. I'll be looking for that kind of a trade if it is, in fact, over $1 billion to sell.
Some people in the chat asking what's that noise, but the guys beside us, they got energy from that pizza, so now they're back going nuts again, hammering it out.
Oh, I see what you
right here. Yeah, there's the green screen. There's going to be pretty impressive coming through right now. So that's what that noise is. With
really
only, yeah, it is. I think it is pretty close to being done. You think that's pretty much? What did Mark say? It's pretty much done. Ooh la la! Just lighting to go.
Oh, see, and
God,
then I looked up at that light.
Yeah, it just doesn't stop. yeah, okay. So we have lighting, and I don't know if you can hear lighting, cameras, lenses, all that kind of stuff. I mean, the amount of quality. And again, I want to thank Jordan Freed, who came through, and he was actually from Immutable Holdings, the CEO and owner, of course, of NFT.com. He came through. was it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one of those days anyways, he talked about just how impressed he was with the whole operation. So I want to say thank you to that. And then Rob, who was here, and some of our other viewers who have magically entered our office, our trading floor, has seen, this is a pretty big operation right now. So, double the desks, the high quality cameras.
The desk
you can
is
see
amazing,
our
man.
production quality. Hopefully every single day you can tell, how that's going. So yeah, again, we're going to have a lot of fun stuff. I mean, Brendan's going to be doing some of the hits from over there. We'll figure out if we can or can't do trade of the day from that spot. But there's going to be lots of fun stuff happening over there, including more segments, more things for you guys. We started to include a little bit of talk on crypto and some updates on that. We've done some European things as well. So hey, maybe there'll be a Trader TV Live Europe one day.
I don't see why not. I think Brendan's already, if we ever shot.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's already moving.
Yeah, if we ever shot from anywhere in Europe, he's already psychologically moved, I think. But not yet. We'll get there at some point. We're growing. We're doing better like we can. Speaking of the market's doing what it can to go range bound, I'm just going to cover roadblocks inside of the range here. If it is in fact the sell imbalance, it makes more sense that maybe we don't get this breakout. It just wants the barcode. So it never really broke down 36, but all it wants to give you is this little scalp trade in there. It does feel like the market wants to test lower. Obviously, look, we're down that 1%. You're pretty much on these lows. Every single bounce in the Qs just snaps right back down to retest those lows, at least from what I can tell. So I'd rather be looking for something to the south side. Even on a pop in the futures, if it is a sell imbalance, that's what I'll be looking for as well. And I don't want to ignore you, CCL. I just mentioned it. It's right back down toward that 7 even. It will be pretty interesting. I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but if we come in Monday morning and 7 is on the bid, it's hard to imagine that after watching the way 9 and 8 broke,
Stranger Things or something?
I feel like everyone's going to be on this 7 level, and it might be the crowded. Like it'd be so crowded because of how good the breakdowns were at 9 and 8 on CCL that it might be the biggest trap of all time to short 7 on Monday morning. We'll see. I mean, it could gap up, it could gap down. I have no idea, but we'll be here to cover it anyways. But that 7 even, it just feels like it'll be way too obvious. It'll be SSR, and it's going to trap everybody at the low and then maybe do a run up. I'll be looking for that chance though.
Meanwhile, just a quick 20-cent scalp right here on Microsoft. We called this up, there it is. It comes right back down to the bottom of the day, and then it just rips back up. So there we are out of 20% there for that 20 cents. You can see where we're long. We're long 76. There's the out right there. The tick is actually 95s, so that's 19 cents. Here it comes back in if you want to make it with me. What we're actually looking at right here is the bottom of Microsoft from yesterday as well. So we've already ticked down here right now. We're just at these levels. It's just bouncing off where it was. Sorry, it wasn't yesterday. It must have been, I was just looking. Oh no, here's the 20-minute chart for Microsoft right now. Looking at that. So this is, it is the bottom from yesterday. 234.60, 234, let's just call it 234.50. So if we break below there, then we'll get out of this. And look, this is a nervous situation right here because Microsoft is battling right now in between the imbalances, right? So the imbalances are coming out in 3 minutes, and Brendan sort of already brought the doom to us, unfortunately, stating that it was a 1.3, and he just updated it a minute ago for us. So it's still from Financial Juice. We say what's up to Tony Knack and his team over there as well from Financial Juice. But so I'm just going to, honestly, we just took that 10, or what did I say? It was 20 cents? Yeah, 20 cents on that. It was 18 cents actually on Microsoft there. But look at the risk, right? We're long at 76. We're getting out if it breaks 50. So we already have 25 cents worth of risk. We've already put a little bit in our pocket now. And we could take another 10 cents right now to basically flatten out our trade, even if we lose. But let's just try to hold out hope that, maybe it's not. Shoot, man, it is a sell imbalance. So it should create it to that downside. What the hell? There it goes right back up to the upside right now. Yeah, so, if that does that again, unfortunately I wasn't there. If we break above 236 again, 235 there again, we'll try that. What is that top? That's 08. All right, we'll sit there. We'll see if we can get that, man. Now we're in the money, 25 cents. So those of you that thought maybe we were sleeping on trades, nah. There it is again. Wake up, America, and everyone who's watching. Trading is still going on. This casino is about to close very, very soon. I call it casino, but it's not, right? Casino is luck-based. If this was luck-based, then I'm going to buy that lottery ticket, by the way, Prad, tonight is $70 million. You talked about that yesterday. Oh, there's a piece of pizza for you. Right here, Prad, pizza. No. Okay, I thought you wanted the midday show
He's
there.
focused,
He's
man.
focused. He's focused now. There it is. Yes, let's get out right now. We'll hit that siren one more time because it's annoying. And there it is, a nice little 30-cent win now for Microsoft back up to the top side. Let's go, softy. Almost like the Blue Jays here, Neil. Let's get that out. Oh my gosh, did we just get it 27? No, we did not. But we're sitting there now at 27 for a 50-cent win on softy right now, just in front of you right here. Let's see if it can work. Let's go softy to the upside. Only a minute and a half until those imbalances. We might have just missed that rip up there. Why didn't I have an offer?
Yeah, look, I'm locked and loaded for these imbalances to come. It's supposed to be 1.3 to sell. We're going to have them till you're live. I think we're going to Brendan just before that.
Just quickly on Twitter, guys, before we get to that, apparently another request from Elon to Twitter for more documents, additional information has been denied in this ongoing preparation for the trials. So no movement here, but a heads up on Twitter.
Oh, that
Denied.
Yeah, that's the back and forth, and that's completely insane. I always say this: if you're trading Twitter, you have to have stops everywhere because something hits the wire, and then the algos get it before you can even react. And if you're not paying close enough attention, even if you're paying close enough attention, you can't move that fast. You just can't do it. So having stops is kind of a big deal on Twitter. About 45 seconds to those imbalances. Still thinking it's looking like a 1.3 to sell. That is significant if it comes out a lot larger than that. We are in the lows of the day to be respected. I've got a trail on my Micron. I don't have a take profit. But if it breaks this low, I'd be looking something in the 50 level there. And my trail is right here, like right to resistance, and I'm crossing all the way up to 51. So kind of an aggressive order there. I don't use... Well, we don't use market orders. A lot of day traders try to avoid them. Aggressive limit orders are just as good, and then you're not necessarily getting executed at a price that you'd never want, which I always believe there's a price you're not willing to pay for an execution, and when you send a market order, that's not what you're telling the market, obviously, for those that don't know the definition of market order. Here the amounts come in 2 and 1, and what do we got? Where are the big ones?
Whoa, PCG.
Apple is $5.8 million to sell on Apple.
He is not wrong.
AT&T $3 million to sell. Amazon $2.4 million to sell.
Jeez.
Alphabet $1.8 million to sell. Microsoft $1.7 million to sell. So it is to the south side there. This is the market heading to that south side. The Qs. I was looking for a pop and fade. Yeah, not happening, man. The Q's going right to the downside here. Almost a full dollar in. All across the board, it was all sell imbalances on anything that was big cap tech. There were a few small caps out there, but remember, it is the end of the month, right? So you sometimes do see some larger imbalances end of the month. I'm going to tighten my stop and sort of let this run Micron down to 50. So I'm going to get some bids out there on Micron and then trail this as we came sell side to the tone of $6.5 billion to sell.
Jeez.
Sheesh.
Wow. Is about the only thing that I could say to that one. I mean, you're going to see some major drops happening there. I mean, look, where's my softy trade? That was in and out as fast as you could, like, blink in the blink of an eye. And those of you that want to talk about stop orders and why you should always use them, Tony, that's a perfect example right there. We were just cruising. Like, we got an out at 20 there. That's 50 cents, right? And then there's our in 75, and there's our out once it broke 50. So now we don't have to worry about that disastrous move back down there for a huge number, man. I don't remember the last time, I've seen anything like that. Should have been executed on, but again, I got flat on Apple, and then by the time this all loaded up, it's an algo game, so unless you sort of see them and just get that feeling, get that 6 billion number, and then punch short, you're going to get beat to the punch on this a lot of the times, but it's a big move to the downside. Like, how much did Google crack down there as well? Google probably, hit pretty nicely down to the downside as well, so there's some definite big trades probably on board here for the close for a lot of traders, man. That's a lot of share size coming out right there on the imbalance. So PCG, again, 21 million to buy for PCG, and that didn't really do anything. Kind of but
isn't PCG getting added back to an index? Yeah.
It's still not moving. So that's probably the problem, is that it's already known. So it was it's more the moves that come out of nowhere. Like, I don't think anybody. I just should have punched short on Apple. I don't think anybody really thought that Apple was coming with 4 million, 5 million, 6 million shares to sell. It was actually 4.5 plus 7. So you're at like almost 12 million shares to sell right there for Apple. Wow, what a disaster! Look at Apple. Like, Apple right there on that imbalance now, taking out its low of 140 and not even thinking about it. I mean, it didn't do that on the imbalance. It took just nicely to the downside here, 139. But yeah, that 140 was trying to hold and then did not. Now you're down about $1. I feel like I want to go long now, though, but maybe I'll just keep the money in our pocket. We basically, at the highest spot we were at all day, that we had an unrealized gain on that Microsoft trade, but then gave it back there at the end. So, you know, that's where I'm at. I don't think we'll put on a trade now, but that was a big move down there for Apple. There's that wick bottom at 138.80. If you want to go long, you're going long against that right now. But again, that imbalance has to work its way out. And that's just nasty. That's nasty to see.
Even Bitcoin just rolled over
at the end of the day.
Yeah, Bitcoin just broke support as well. I mean, it's still at like 19.5,
Wow.
but it was kind of consolidating and you just broke those lows. I was asked in the chat, like, would you take CCL 7 break this late in the day? The answer to that is no. It's short sell restricted, so that limits how rapidly it can go to the downside by people taking shorts and hitting the bid to do so. And then you might have some like people that are covering the shorts as well to end the day because it's fallen so far. I'm just not sure it's going to have enough momentum on that break. I can tell you the bid here on CCL, it's not crazy. I suspect if we see 7 on the bid on Monday, it'll be a lot juicier than this. It's a good number, don't get me wrong. It's about 600,000 shares from what I can tell. Maybe even, and with the dark pools, there's probably even more than that. There's probably going to be 1 million on that bid, but it's done 225 million, and I'm assuming it's going to do some good numbers on Monday as well. But yeah, I wouldn't take that short this time of day. I just keep trailing down, you know, Micron, which I happen to be into the short side. Thankfully got out of Roblox. I mean, obviously, with the sell and bounce that came in, it didn't matter if it was relatively strong. You're going to end up pulling back. And that's sort of the risk at 350 when you get one of those imbalances.
Yeah, I went long here, which is going to be a mistake because here comes Apple right now. We're long at 96, sorry, here on Apple, trying to play it against that bottom, but looks like it's, okay, there it goes. It just breaks. I was trying to hold it. Whatever, we take a 20-cent hit there. I just think that the risk is going to be, there's 355 right now. We could see if there is a change. Now there isn't a change on the imbalance. So it stayed pretty strong sell there. So should have gone short into that imbalance there. So that's my bad. But there it is, a quick little hitter there on Apple as it just continues to make a move down. I don't have really any skin in the game now. Obviously, you can see that we're flat. I was just trying to make like a little bit of a hero buy there in case the Apple did flip completely because look, like I was saying, look at what's happening right here, right? You are getting this pairing off. So you're only at the 3 million shares right now. At the end of the market close, you're going to get a big, you're going to get a 3 plus 13 print there. So you're going to get like a 16 million share print. And there goes PCG to the upside as well as that imbalance is sticking around here.
Yeah, exactly. And look, it's 356. I just got out of Micron. Market is now plunging to the downside. I mean, I'll give you a look at what's happening.
Close,
like it's
man.
1.6 now, and we've not just broken support. Like we've crashed through it, getting close to 11 flat. And on the ES, on the S&P 5 ES futures, we just broke or tested 3,600. So 3,600 just got there in an absolute hurry. Once again, we have a bit of a free fall Friday happening, 1.4 to the downside. So the 51% of you that voted this morning say it was going to be bear, it was 51 to 49. It's not as if it was definitive. 51%, you will be correct on that one as the market is going to, I mean, it's going to end close enough to those lows. Not any 3 or 4% down day, but yeah, that was a flush. And it looks like, according to a source online, this was the biggest sell imbalance at the close since March 2020, apparently.
I mean, I pretty much believe that. I don't remember 6.5 billion. The thing about it, though, is I want to do it with sort of with a grain of salt. Obviously, it matters, but it is the end of the month and the end of a quarter. So, and the quarter was pretty nasty. There's a lot of stuff happening in the market. So it doesn't matter, man. And that's why there's a big imbalance, right? I mean, nasty market, nasty imbalance coming into the close. And wow, as Apple is now down to 138. And guess what just broke? It's June low, the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ is now below its June low level of 11,060. So that's the low. It just took it out right there. Now you're going to close at 11,030 or so. So there is a move possible here on Monday to retrace back up. But like if you're a short trader right now, you know, and you open up below this level on the NASDAQ, then you do have a lot of firepower there for more shorts to come in, right? So there we go, man. This has been a big day. There's only now 2 minutes left. You can see right here, Dre moving to the upside as well. No, sorry, going to the downside. PCGE still going 1250, 1255, 1254. So again, if you are a closed trader, that was what, 20 million shares when we identified that. So you could have just made about, it's not that much, but still 18 cents, pretty good there on that one, as a lot of these have now paired off. So what does that mean for Apple? Probably a move back up, but again, there's a big print coming at the close that's going to be a sell side. Well, it's not going to be sell side, it's match, but you're going to see a 15 million share huge print coming at the end of the day on Apple. Wow, thanks for joining, man. Hit the like button if you haven't done that already. I mean, if we just didn't show you some crazy stuff there in the market.
Like, even if it was just like that imbalance, like you saw across the board some of those names that went to downside. This is that PCG that moved up there. But, I mean, I didn't even, like, this is the Qs. Like, look at what happened right at 350 on the Qs. Like, you just shot to the downside and pretty much no end in sight. Like, we're just screaming lower here. Like, there's no bid when you call these up. They're just flushing. I mean, anything that was strong is going to be out of here to that downside. Tesla did end up breaking. By the way, CCL never broke $7, at least not yet. With 1 minute to go, Tesla breaking down now 1% to that downside. It is pretty crazy. We're going to have Tony on the bell as always. And I gotta shout out. I don't like pineapple on pizza, but it was a very good tasting slice. So, you know, it was definitely a lot of fun to be able to do that for you guys. Maybe next week when we think of an idea of what to eat, it'll be something that everybody
You still got to get that Chicago style. We'll find a place in Toronto.
Get some deep dish. Now, obviously, deep dish is best in Chicago. I get it, but certainly we'll find a good
Chicago style.
Yeah, Chicago. So we'll get some deep dish here.
We don't want to fly that thing in. Maybe we'll send Tony
I mean,
down.
like that. That's that deep dish that you want. That's that stuff. With 20 seconds to go
that
here, the market.
Deep-ish.
Deep-ish.
You know what I'm saying? Deep-ish.
Deep-ish,
Right
for
there.
sure. Only 15 seconds to go. Tony, get the camera off me and put the man himself out there. Yep, the Bears have won today. We got to ring it off here in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and...
And that's that. Thank you so much. There's some excitement behind us because, yeah, those imbalances were real spicy there at the close. You could see this Apple print. I told you it'd be 16 million shares. It's not like I told you so. It's that's just a form of the market there. And there's the print there. You could see the biggest candle, obviously, there. 16 million share print for Apple. Unfortunately, I didn't see exactly where it went off, but it must have been 138 flat or somewhere in there for Apple. So that's definitely a bad sign here. Wow, a nasty move here to end the day. But I don't know, I'm sort of afraid to ask Brendan how we wound up, but it's part of the show, so we're gonna do it anyways. Brendan, how do we wind up?
We got to make it official, right? Honestly, it wasn't as bad as a lot of people think, I feel. We did bounce there right at the end as well. A lot of buy volume came in at the bell and even after it on the futures. So only 1.5. We'll call it only 1.5. 1.7 for the NASDAQ, 1.2 for the Dow. Brazil, a nice day to end the month. 1.7 there for crude oil. But unfortunately, guys, it is a negative month and a negative quarter for all three U.S. markets.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see Brazil up. I don't know why Brazil's up 2%, but I usually get happy when I see Brazil up. But that market, we accelerated to the downside pretty big there. And obviously, a little bit of a bounce happening in the market off those lows. I guess once the casino was closed, the buyers decided to come in. But hey, it's still entertaining, man. It wasn't much of a bounce.
I'm just like, you know, it's... I don't know, like I'm almost out of cash. Like, I mean, I don't know what to do to buy, sell, do whatever. Like Brendan just said, another negative quarter coming for the NASDAQ. The market, or the NASDAQ's been up 9. I think it's the market, but it's the NASDAQ up 9 of the last 10 years. Yeah, that's going to start maybe a new trend right now coming back in. But I don't know how low is low anymore, as the S&P is right at 3,600 right now. So yeah, another one there. You know, again, we apologize for all the noise in the background. We're almost done. Mark is sort of giving the thumbs up on that one. So that should be a lot of fun when we get to do some new things there. A lot of big stuff, a lot of big things happening today, man. Thanks again to all the viewers for the super chats and the pizza. That was fantastic. So thank you for supporting that buy. Thanks to Justin for going to go grab that And it was, what was it called? The fourth in the fire, something like that?
The fourth man in the fire. The fourth man in the fire.
That's kind of a funny name. I don't know. I wonder what the story is behind that.
I'm sure there's a story to that.
Because not only do you not want to be the first man in the fire, let alone the second, the third, and then the fourth man in the fire. So that's a pretty good name. I like it. An interesting story there. But
I'll be the first man out of the fire, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
George Costanza that. If
we got 1.5K.
We got it.
So Neil, honestly, I know you're going to be, you're obviously a man of your word and everything like that, but we got to up that level. We got to up that level.
Next week it'll be 2.
All right.
But I'm not here on Friday, so it'll have to be Thursday of next week. You probably, if you've been following in hip hop this week, this should be no surprise. This should be a classic. Playmaker, I know you like this one. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my life is gone. But I never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, man, you know it's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your crew gonna be lined in chalk. I really hate to trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies want to be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Rest in peace, Coolio.
Yeah, that was a good way to end it, right? Because in the next one, gangsters paradise, heaven's paradise for that man, Coolio. Thank you, Neil, for that one. That was pretty good, man. I really liked that one.
He was too young, man. He was too young.
What was it, 59?
He's 59 years
59.
old. 59 years old. That's
You know
too
what?
young.
Honestly,
That's too
no,
young.
59 is way too young, but at least it was probably a good run for that dude. And shout out to everybody's family and everybody involved there with Coolio. But thanks, Neil. That was a good way to turn it out there to end the week. So, Jay's tonight? Did you say you're going to, or that's tomorrow? Or you're not sure yet?
I'm going tomorrow,
Okay.
and then we're supposed to be going on Sunday as well if my wife didn't sell the tickets. They do play tonight, but for some reason we're not going. I actually don't know why we're not going tonight, to be honest with you.
We got rid of him.
Well, I don't know.
Who knows? But anyways,
why would I
good.
go-
Yeah, have a lot of fun there, and I hope everyone else has a fantastic weekend. Brendan, what you got on the docket there?
I didn't catch that. Sorry.
Sorry, what? Any plans for the weekend?
Not anything exciting. Hanging around the city. You guys?
Yeah, well, we were just talking. Neil's probably going to the Jays game here. I've got a bunch of. Oh, I'm actually going golfing tomorrow.
How the ass are you
In
golfing?
October?
Yes. Yes. So my brother and I.
Serious?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
gonna be like freezing.
I know. I woke up this morning and it was 8 degrees, and I was just
crazy,
like,
dude.
"What's going on?"
Pass.
But
You're
it's
crazy.
9 a.m. No. But I looked at it. It's supposed to be 12 degrees Celsius.
Oh my God. That's like what, 39, I think, something like that.
No, 32 is 0, right? So
Dude, Sean, that's free. You're gonna be like, yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be.
You're gonna be
Fahrenheit,
freezing
but,
your ass off, dude.
Yeah,
You know what?
I'm
More power
probably
to you.
going to be freezing.
Enjoy
my ass.
Yeah,
yourself.
no, you're right.
It's
It's 55. 55.
55.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's
That's not bad.
freezing cold though.
55.
That's cold.
55.
You guys all know that's too cold to golf.
55
Not
is
that
way
I'm a
better
golfer,
than
but,
13,
I mean, come
so.
on, man.
I mean, it is too cold to golf. I'm here to admit it.
Say what's
That's
up to
why, there's more to golfing than just golfing. So we're going to have a lot of fun. A shout out there. Me and my brother didn't get out for our birthday, so that's why we're doing it. So
okay.
that's part of it.
Well-
so it's 2 weeks late because we didn't get last week because it was raining last week. So we're going to go this week again. Yeah,
that's all
it's a
slow in
belated.
there.
It's fine. Yeah, thanks. That animation needs to be fixed. All right, guys, and Trade of the Day's Apple, we're going to have to let you go. We're way over time now. It's 4:06 for everybody here at Trader TV Live. I'm not going to run everybody down, but I am going to say shout out to Bears vs. Bulls. Thank you for everything you do on the moderation there. Thank you for all the super chats as well. I want everyone to have a fantastic weekend. Watch some NFL. Watch everything. Give your kids, your parents, your family a big hug, kiss, everything. The markets are back, and we're back 8:30 on Monday. See ya.
Go Bills.